Hey everyone, Brian from 3 Geeky Dads here. Before we begin tonight's episode, I just want everyone to know that we are now sponsored by Audible. As an IT professional for a school department, I find myself behind the wheel of my car traveling between schools almost all day long, and that's where Audible comes in. Right now, I'm enjoying listening to Douglas Adams' Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, read by Stephen Fry. It's so enjoyable to hear this hilarious audiobook read by a proper British comic actor. And that's just scratching the surface. Audible is the leading provider of spoken word content, with everything from bestsellers, celebrity memoirs, and news to podcasts. Yes, if you're into podcasts, and you're listening to us right now, so we can assume you do, Audible has got you covered. Just go to www.audibletrial.com/3GD to get your free 30-day trial today. That's www.audibletrial.com/3GD to get your free 30-day trial. You'll get 1 credit, 2 credits if you're already an Amazon Prime member. That's good for any premium selection titles you like, and they're yours to keep. You also get the Audible Plus catalog of podcasts, audiobooks, guided wellness, and Audible originals. Listen all you want. No credits needed. Again, that's www.audibletrial.com/3GD. $14.95 a month after your 30-day trial, cancel at any time. Audible. Stay informed, connected, and inspired. And now, on with the show.
Warning, incoming dad joke. Warning, incoming dad joke.
Hey, what did the Earth say to the comet coming towards it?
I don't know. What?
Come at me, bro.
Did you write that one?
No.
Oh.
I wish.
Oh, you should have said yes. No one would ever deny it.
Okay, just ask me again.
No.
Who is your daddy, and what does he do?
It looks like a pink nightmare.
Christmas has a Yule log. Not a log, I don't have a log, but it's...
All that I have, all that I've learned, everything I feel, all this and more I bequeath you, my son.
Your father was Frankenstein, and your mother was the lightning.
We named the dog Indiana.
I am your father.
Hello and welcome to another thrilling episode of 3 Geeky Dads, the show now brought to you by the new Sigourney Weaver Feminine Skin Cream, made for the average working girl, and soothing for when you feel like you're turning into a dog. Sigourney Weaver Skin Cream, the cream that says, "Get away from her, you itch." I am Mark, and thank you. I think I have moments.
You saved it in the end.
Yeah, I saved it. I almost botched it. I got it back though.
She's the gorilla my dreams in the mist.
Oh, see, I was trying to think of more. Okay, so she's a dog. But I am not a dog. I am Mark, and with me, as always, are the Loch Ness Monster and Kanye West's intelligence to my two things most people think are mythical.
Derek and Brian.
And joining us, as always, to say F you to math and the accuracy of our show title, the man who puts the 4 in foreplay, Tito.
Oh, hello.
You sure do.
Spell different.
That's the
Bit of how you spell your father.
Oh, that's the joke.
Yes.
Oh, interesting.
Tito, next week it's going to be...
Derek, did you write that one?
Yes, I did.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay, there we go.
Hey.
See, now you're learning.
Next week it's going to be a golf joke, Tito.
Oh, I hope so. Oh.
If you're a god, you say yes.
I watched that last night. It's funny that you're doing it. Yeah, I watched it last night.
So did Sarah.
Yeah.
You guys are on a
I fucking love that
Ghostbusters
movie.
It's a great movie.
I haven't seen it in forever.
New one sucked. Not to be negative, but I am. Tonight, how's everybody doing before I get into this?
Yeah, we're doing all right.
Everybody doing all right?
Hanging in there.
We're
Yeah.
in March.
Not a bad
we
week.
Drinking,
Weather's
almost
good.
over.
Weather's been beautiful.
Weather's good.
Yeah.
Very nice out.
Warming up.
Awesome.
That's right.
Cool.
Not so
Oh, it was
cold.
really nice today.
Yeah.
I had the windows down.
Me
my lunch
too.
break. It was
Yesterday,
awesome.
too.
Yeah, I was
It was
cruising
like
in the
60
car.
degrees at 4
Yeah.
o'clock yesterday afternoon.
I mean, I still
coming
stay
home.
inside a lot, but whatever. It's nice. When I
Did
look
you
out
have
the window,
do
the sun's
you have the window open when you
sure
stay
is nice
inside?
I
out
try
there.
not to.
See, I do. I consider that getting fresh air. Get some fresh air, all right? Open the window.
My wife likes to open the windows and let the fresh air in. I hate it.
Why?
Because you got to remember to close the windows at some
Well,
point.
yeah,
and
there
I
is
don't.
that.
True.
Yeah.
But that's...
I never do.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So I just don't leave them. Don't leave them alone.
We leave ours open overnight in the bedroom.
You can
Oh,
do
me
that.
too.
But then she forgets to shut it the next day, so like I'll come home and it's fucking freezing.
Yeah.
I'm saying, man. That's why I don't even bother.
You just rather
I'll just stay
suffocate in the
uncomfortable.
heat.
Yeah, for sure.
It's easier.
Yeah.
Tito's that dog in the room on fire. This is fine.
Just shrugs it off.
For sure.
Cool. Well, that concludes the sports section of it. Any sports talk?
Cool.
Any sports talk? We got anything going
Pat's
on?
making a lot of moves. They got a
Yeah.
lot of defensive players. They signed a wide receiver.
Bruins
Traded away a lot of people
Fucking
last
Bruins.
week.
They suck.
Yeah, this year
The management sucks.
they stink on ice.
And
Literally.
they skate on ice.
See what I did there?
I can't believe they let Marchand go.
Oh, I know.
He is like
He's been there forever.
a staple of
Yeah.
the
Now,
Bruins.
well, they have like a the 80s Celtics kind of feel to me, where they kept Bird and those guys around maybe a little bit too long.
Yeah.
They didn't build. I feel like maybe
Yeah.
they didn't build enough around that team.
Yeah.
To like transition into. So now you got to like get rid of pieces that were valuable but are running out of time.
Well, but
You
to
gotta
send,
make those changes
But to
at
send him
some
to Florida, like fuck you. Like you're gonna send him to a team that we absolutely fucking hate, and
God's retirement.
now they got two scumbags, Ben and him. We're all like, come on, he's our scumbag.
Where else are they going to go? Florida's like Mos Eisley Cantina at this point. You just cross over to go to Disneyland, plane lands at the airport, and there they are.
So true.
Is that the unofficial motto for Florida?
It is
for the state
now.
of Florida?
Dun, 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 dun,
Yeah,
dun, dun,
the
dun.
Mos Eisley of the United
God's
States.
waiting room.
God's
Is that what
waiting
it-
room. No, that was a
God's
Family Guy
waiting room.
quote.
Huh?
Yeah.
I believe Stewie said it in Family Guy.
Oh, okay.
I did not write that one, Derek. I should have
No.
taken credit
You
for
should
that.
have.
See, I
You
didn't
should have.
follow my own advice.
I agree.
I guarantee you, Seth MacFarlane doesn't listen to this podcast.
No, he doesn't at all.
Well, we don't know that.
Not at all. But he's
He's
in
our
my,
number one fan.
He's in my monologue today. My little
Oh.
intro.
Is he
really?
Interesting. Look at this. Full circle
a
moments.
lot of coincidences.
Well, it's a Schrodinger's cat situation. We don't know he isn't until he tells us.
We
he
don't
is.
even know
right.
he's a cat.
He could be listening to us.
That's true.
Folks,
Or not. That's
allow
true.
me
We
to,
don't know.
Allow me to. Allow me
Schrodinger's
to.
podcast.
He's both listening right now, and he's
not
also not
listening.
listening.
Gentlemen, if I may, please, allow
Yes.
to take from the pages of Carl Jung and his book, Man and His Symbols. Is he in fact a cat because we call it a cat? What are things outside human perception? Is the tree a tree because we call it a tree? What is it really?
Bars.
A rose by any other
of
name
it.
would
Think
still
of
smell
it.
as sweet.
Everything we know we have named.
Because dogs call trees. Woo!
That's right.
He wrote. Did you write that one?
I did.
All right.
On the spot.
On the spot. Look at
Yeah, that was also the name of the dog. How was your day? Rough. What's on the house? Roof.
How does she like? Oh no. That's right. Dirty.
Delicate.
Well, that concludes the sports deep conversation, very perverted portion of our show.
See how we roll it all into
Oh,
one.
it's beautiful. We're
That's
good.
what she said.
Oh, we gotta roll it around to find the wet spot. Oh. I didn't say it. Last Boy Scout. I'm quoting a movie.
Just throw some flour on it.
Ew.
Sorry.
Oh.
That's how you get a yeast infection.
That's nasty.
Somewhere, one of our 5 listeners could be baking a cake at this very moment with flour.
You were coming on a baked cake.
Suddenly they're throwing it in the trash.
I don't want this anymore.
Well, I've lost my appetite.
Tonight we continue our month of In the March of Madness with a movie that features 2 bizarre and disturbing things: parallel worlds and pretentious white people dinner parties. I am, of course, talking about the 2013, 14?
13. Yeah.
The 2013 sci-fi thriller Coherence, a movie that begs the questions: do we know who our friends really are, and do we know who we really are, and do we know who let the dogs out? For all of you who still remember that thing back
Baja
in the
Man
early
did.
2000s. A little joke for you. But before we grab our glow sticks, stare at a comet, and pontificate Schrodinger's cat, like we kind of just did,
See how it comes full circle?
while wondering what the hell it is everyone's eating at this frickin' dinner table, our own yuppie of yummy yogurt, yams, and Yavanis, Brian,
Oh, hey.
has prepared a delicious appetizer to start us off.
One of our sponsors.
Brian,
You-
unofficial.
Giovanni.
Mark.
You're welcome, Derek.
Brian
Brian.
Okay.
I was looking at Derek.
I know,
He was making a
Derek's looking
face
at-
at something.
No, because your picks are really good.
You guys just had a moment.
We had a moment. We had a shared moment.
Uh-huh.
Thank you, Brian, and thank you, Derek, and thank you, Tito, for being here.
Yeah, no problem.
If you want to listen to the oh no, that's the end.
Cover up.
All right.
Wow, what a short episode. It's almost like we had gone through a
time
warp or something,
Way
or
to bring it
into a
back.
dark spot.
into a different. That's why you need the flower again.
Ew, dark spot.
Nasty.
You got a spot on your bum.
I think we're all going to enjoy this little treat. I got the recipe from the Ladies' Home Journal. The mail got wet in the rain, so some of the pages ran together. But what I couldn't read, I just improvised with my own little creative ideas. You see, it's got raisins in it. You like raisins.
So tonight, as Mark mentioned, we're going to be looking at the movie Coherence from 2013. In this movie, on the night a comet passes overhead, strange things begin to happen when a group of 8 friends gather for a dinner party, but they soon begin to experience a troubling chain of reality-bending events. Because tonight's movie takes place practically in one location, namely the home of Mike and Lee, 2 characters in the movie, we thought we'd take a look at some of our other favorite movies that take place in one singular location.
Excellent. Derek.
One
setting stories.
singular location. Derek is up. He's first.
That was beautiful.
Yeah.
It's been a while since I got serenaded.
Musicality.
My number one pick is Gerald's Game.
Oh, good one, man.
Oh, I never saw that. That's just in her bedroom. She's in her bedroom.
yeah.
Yes.
So 2017 Netflix film written and directed by my boy Mike
Wait,
Flanagan.
it was Netflix?
It was it was a Netflix exclusive. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
It was like the first project he did for Netflix because
Really?
it predated all the haunting shows.
Yeah. But I thought it was released theatrically. I happened to see it on Netflix, not knowing it was made specifically for Netflix.
They might have. When they first started making movies, they did have a couple in the theaters.
Yeah.
So it might have been.
Yeah,
Okay.
they tried to
Because
at the same time.
because in order to be nominated for an Oscar, you're
Right,
supposed
exactly.
to have,
In New York
For a
and
limited
LA
amount,
for at
yeah.
least 2 weeks, I
Right.
think.
But yeah, 2017 film. Mike Flanagan wrote and directed it. It's based on Stephen King's 1992 novel.
Mm-hmm.
Not only does it perfectly adapt a story that many thought was unadaptable, but it's an incredible flick.
Oh, yeah.
The incomparable Carla Gugino. She stars in her first Flanagan-verse project as Jessie, the wife of Bruce Greenwood's titular character, Gerald.
I like Bruce Greenwood.
Yes, he's really good.
He is.
While
Underrated. He's very underrated.
He is, and he's underused.
Yeah.
He's not in a lot of things. And
No.
he should
No.
be. While on vacation, Gerald dies suddenly while Jesse is handcuffed to the bed.
Yeah, as you do.
They're about to engage
They're
in
trying
a little
to
something.
spice up the marriage. The film takes place in the bedroom of the vacation lake house where Jesse tries to find a way to survive while at the same time being haunted by inner demons as well as Gerald himself.
How much flour do they use?
Just a tab.
Just a smidge?
About 2 tablespoons.
Just
A
the tip.
smidge. A pinch.
Pinch.
A pinch.
Hello.
Yeah, it's so good, and it's all pre-haunting. So like, it was Flanagan's really first big thing that I had seen. Carla Gugino's, like, as I always like to say, a tour de force. Like, she was
For sure.
absolutely incredible in this movie. She actually she talked about it at Comic-Con at the panel I went to. They had talked at the panel about how the process of getting the job. I think there was someone else attached to that role, and they dropped out last minute.
Of which role?
Of Jesse.
Okay.
Yeah. So he had brought in Carla Gugino on a whim, and they've worked together on.
They didn't have a
almost
previous
every.
history together.
No, this was the
This was the
collaboration.
first, and I'm pretty. I don't want to say this and be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that she has had some type of part in everything that he's done, even whether it's a voiceover part or a small like Haunting of Bly Manor. She's plays the older version of the gardener, who's like telling the story. So she's not in that a lot, but like. She's obviously a huge character in the first one.
Yeah,
The
Haunting of
vampire
Hill
one?
House.
What's the vampire? What's the vampire one
She's a
called?
voice that she does a voiceover.
Oh, okay.
In Midnight Mass.
Midnight Mass,
Yes.
that's what
Again, if people haven't seen Fall of House of Usher, like
Oh, it's awesome.
get the fuck on it because
Yeah.
Carla Gugino's awesome in that as
She
the
is.
Raven. The Bruce Greenwood plays
very good too.
Usher, and it's just
I think I like that one over all the other stuff he's done for Netflix so
it's
far.
the one. As much as I
Yeah.
love the two hauntings,
Oh, me too.
I've watched Fall of House of Usher 3 or 4 times.
Have you?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
Oh.
great.
yeah. It's like just nonstop. Good.
I love how he ties
Each
it all
episode
together.
gets better and better. Oh, yeah, and I love the whole Poe thing. Yeah.
Really
So
good.
that's my pick.
Nice.
Brian,
Cool.
Sorry.
No, don't apologize. It was a great
What was
pick.
your pick?
Gerald's game.
Carla Gugino.
Yeah,
Pretty much. Pretty much. If anybody's seen the picture of me and her in
man.
Comic Con.
That's right.
I have.
Yeah. You and her in one location, Tito? That's all you need.
Oh, boy.
That's it. I fail every time.
She's amazing.
Cry in a corner.
Think of the bacon.
Why didn't you come with me to get an autograph?
Dude, when you said you were going, I was like, what if I just go and just stand next to him so I can just
You
watch
should've.
them? I just want to see her
And I
in
got a
person.
picture with her, like,
I was
right
like,
next to
damn,
her.
I could probably just see
Derek,
her. I just
pretend
want
you
to
have
see her
special
live.
needs and I'm your handler.
I just want to see her live with my own eyes.
Derek really, really likes you. He loved you in Son-in-Law.
When you said you were going to do that, I was like, damn, should I just I just want to see her real quick.
But you didn't.
I didn't.
And she is stunning.
Yeah.
She is
Yeah.
absolutely gorgeous. Big shout out to
Carla
Carla. Friend of the show.
She loves us. Yep.
That's right.
She listens every
I'm sure
Thursday.
Every week.
Brian, what's your pick? I'm sorry.
No, don't apologize. This is
Having
fun.
deja vu.
Yeah, this is fun.
It's a glitch in the Matrix.
It
man.
is. Yeah, was that the same black
Black
cat?
cat?
Schrodinger's cat. Schrödinger?
There's
Schrodinger's. Schroeder's cat. Big piano.
That's what I always thought it was.
He opened up the piano lid and there's a cat in there.
Schrodinger. Sarah would know. She's probably, when she hears this, she's going to be yelling at us. What the hell?
That's what you get from marrying a psychologist.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway, so my pick is from, I believe, 1956. It's 1954. Rear Window, Alfred Hitchcock.
I almost
Good pick.
went there.
I thought you might.
almost went there.
But then there was another one I
went
thought you
close.
might.
Yeah,
I know where you're going. I know how you
what
think,
the mark
brother.
is cooking.
I do. That's one of my runners-up in case.
See, that's
Both of them are murder.
I made a wrestling reference. You should be proud of me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's Hulk Hogan who said that.
Absolutely. No,
No, I
it's
know.
not.
I know.
Yeah.
No, Hulk Hogan said I don't like black people.
That's The Rock.
Well,
So fuck him.
not like that, but like, yeah.
But he's a brother.
And
He
a
called
different
everybody
way.
brother.
Called everybody brother. It's true.
All right, sorry. Go ahead, Brian.
No, Jimmy Stewart, Grace Kelly, and it takes place in Jimmy Stewart's apartment. He is laid up because he broke his leg on assignment for his photo shoot for a magazine, and now he's stuck in his apartment. All he has to do is look out the window at the courtyard below him and all the other inhabitants
complex,
of his New York City apartment complex, and he witnesses what he thinks is a murder across the way. And it's Raymond Burr that he's spying on, and he convinces Grace Kelly that he might be onto something. She starts to believe that he's onto something. His caretaker, played by, I forget her
Thelma
name.
Ritter.
Thelma Ritter. Thank you, Mark.
You're welcome.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
She's awesome in this movie. The whole cast is great. And it's just a fantastic whodunit, even though you kind of know
This is
whodunit.
Hitchcock, right?
This
Yes.
is
Hitchcock.
I haven't seen this one yet.
And this whole movie takes place in Jimmy Stewart's apartment and out the window, so you,
Right.
like it's you can see the
Like from
courtyard.
afar.
Yeah, but no further than that.
Okay.
And that's where all the action takes place. It's a
Nice.
it's a very confined, claustrophobic, yet not so claustrophobic setting. And the entire set was done inside, so Alfred Hitchcock could control everything because he didn't want to be at the whim of the weather.
Yep.
So he's like, I'm going to do this
Oh,
inside.
okay.
He built this, I don't know how many stories tall.
I wonder if that's why he did, because he did a few movies where it's all like in one spot. So I,
Yes, yeah, we're going
Stay
to talk
tuned.
about those.
I'm sure we will. I
I
got
have a
three
few
of
of
them
my
up.
runners up just in
Yep.
case you guys had gone picked this one before me.
Yep.
Which is why I had asked who was going first. I'm like, I don't think Derek's got this one, but just in case, I've got runners up. So yeah, Rear Window. It's one of my favorite Hitchcock movies to watch all the time too.
What did you think of the remake with Christopher Reeve?
Never saw it.
I never saw it, but I did see
did
Suburbia
one
with
Disturbia.
Oh, Shia
with
LaBeouf.
Disturbia, sorry.
Yeah,
Shia
which is
LaBeouf.
pretty much a playoff of it. Absolutely.
And what's his name there? Who's the bad
David
guy?
Morse.
Yes.
From St. Elsewhere.
From St. Elsewhere.
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh.
exactly.
And The Rock.
Yeah,
Denzel
and The Green
Washington.
Mile.
And The Crossing
Oh,
Guard.
that's right.
Yeah.
One of his
Oh,
most, one of his
that
most,
guy.
one of Jack Nicholson's never talked about most underrated performance. By
That
the
and
way.
The Pledge.
And The Pledge.
Yeah, yeah. I
Sean
get those two
Penn.
mixed up because they came out around the same
Crossing
time.
Guard.
Right. And he had a mustache in both of them, I think.
Yeah, did he?
No, he didn't have it
No?
in Crossing
He didn't
Guard.
have it?
No.
Really?
Yeah, and The Pledge.
Definitely The Pledge.
No, definitely.
The Pledge, is that with Kathleen Turner? Is that the one?
That's
no.
Oh, I'm thinking.
That's
no.
Romancing the Stone.
The Pledge is Robin Wright.
I'm thinking of a different.
Robin Wright.
In fact, Robin Wright's in both The Pledge and The Crossing Guard. She has a smaller part in The Crossing Guard. She has a bigger part in The
the same
Pledge.
director.
Yeah, Sean Penn.
Oh, Sean Penn directed those.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
That makes sense. He was
There you
married to
go.
Robin
Right.
Wright Penn.
Yeah.
And he was fucking Jack Nicholson. So
Well,
For
who wouldn't?
sure. Right in the
Which one was
eyebrows.
Kathy
Wouldn't
Bates
you?
in?
About Schmidt.
About Schmidt.
Oh,
About
about
Schmidt.
Schmidt. Okay. All right.
Oh yeah.
Not even.
No disrespect to Kat.
Yeah.
That wasn't the reason.
No, no.
Hot
Kudos
naked
to her for
body.
getting in that
Yeah, the hot tub.
and not
Yeah.
giving a shit. I could never do it. But that movie in general, I was not a big fan of. Tito.
Prizzy's
Are you,
Honor
I'm
is
sorry,
the
are you
movie
done?
I'm thinking
I am
of.
done.
I jumped to Tito. I want to say very quickly, Rear Window has been parodied so many times from everything from The Simpsons, Family Guy.
Well, it's a great movie.
But the story is just so simple. I
Yeah.
think even Alf did an episode of it when Alf thought Mr. Achmonic killed
a cat.
Raquel.
Willie.
Raquel
Willie.
Achmonic.
This my
Willie!
this my Alf Tito. It's spot on.
It's spot on.
It's pretty good.
What's yours, Alf?
It's pretty
Tito?
good. It's
Sir?
Alf. That takes place in one location.
Earth.
Mr. Belvedere.
Yeah, right. This is a go-to for me. I love.
Oh, yeah.
I love John Hughes movies. This is not my favorite John Hughes movie, but it is one of the best. I think it's The Breakfast Club. It's 5.
Yeah.
Different personality types stuck in a Saturday detention in a library, at school, and feelings and jokes, and they're mean to each other. It's just a
Yeah.
fun.
And then they become friends at the end.
And then they
sort of.
kind of, you always wonder what happened the next day. That's
Right.
what I always
Yeah,
wondered.
on Monday when
Well,
they
we know
all
what
That's why I
happens
like this
with
movie.
Bender and Claire. We know what happens to them.
Yeah, but when they go back to school,
Right.
it's
Are they
the same
gonna
thing.
Are they going to honor that
Yeah.
pact?
They're gonna.
Like now, all
Nobody.
of a sudden,
No, I'm
you
going
know?
to say no.
Yeah, probably not.
No. Ali Sheedy goes and kills somebody. Anthony Michael Hall does kill himself. 'cause-
Emilio Estevez
Yeah, with the flare
tears
gun.
the hair
With
off
the
somebody
flare
else's
gun.
ass.
Right with the flare gun. Yeah, I know. That's so weird.
What is it? What's the name? Larry.
Jocks is so weird.
Who's the buns he tapes together?
Oh, I think it is a Larry.
Is it a
something or
Larry
other.
Mullen? I want to say
No, Larry Mullins from U2.
No, okay, it's not Larry Mullins. Larry
So
somebody.
you know how hairy he is. I
You know
love
how
that. Like
hairy
everybody
he
knows
is.
how hairy he is. Weird.
That
It's all
little
over the
hobbit.
school board, man. These are all one location movies, gentlemen.
Yeah, I love this. I definitely love this film. It's one
It
of my
is.
favorites.
It's a classic.
Cool.
Excellent
Good
soundtrack.
pick. I've
Great
got, it,
soundtrack.
I've got it as one of my runners up, Tito. Good pick.
My pick is also an Alfred Hitchcock movie, and I almost went Rear Window, but I like this movie better, amazingly enough. It is Alfred Hitchcock's Rope, starring Jimmy Stewart, Farley Granger, and
Jimmy
I
Stewart
don't
again.
never remember
Jimmy
the other guy.
Stewart,
Jimmy
yeah.
Stewart, and John Dahl.
She's flooded. Little Dana Carvey.
I just
Shout out
watched a
Dana
really
Carvey.
good montage of all his
Oh,
good
really? Dana
impressions
Carvey?
the other
Yeah.
day.
Dana
It's
Carvey.
so funny.
He's
Jimmy
hysterical.
Stewart was
Would you like to
Spot
touch my
on.
monkey?
I'd like to read a poem by Robert Frost. No, this is an awesome film. and
Yeah, that was my other one.
Starts in the location, finishes the location. Other than a open window in the apartment that we see the sky slowly turn from afternoon to night, we get no shot of the. We get one shot during the title sequence of the apartment. Everything else is inside the room. Farley Granger and John Dahl are two roommates. It's implied that they're gay, but it's not 100%
Right.
brought out.
Yeah.
Different
but
time.
there's a
Yeah.
subtext. So they're these roommates. They live together, and they decide they want to see what it's like to kill somebody. And the movie literally opens up with the shot of the apartment. We hear a scream, and then we cut to these two strangling a guy and putting him in a chest right before they have a party. And invite a
dinner
bunch
party,
of guests.
yeah.
A dinner party where the guest of honor is actually in the trunk. So it's all of. I think the guy.
They invite his parents.
They invite his parents.
His ex-girlfriend.
His girlfriend and their former professor,
played by Jimmy Stewart.
And Jimmy Stewart starts to realize something's going on because one of the roommates is a little more shaky on the whole thing than the other. They serve the food right on the chest.
They
an
use the chest as a buffet.
Yep.
Yeah.
John Dahl is wicked, and he's the one that's really super into it. And Farley Granger's the little more not so
skittish.
sure,
Little
timid, skittish one. He, I get, and
he cracks more and more as the movie progresses.
He does. Yeah. He gets more nervous, and everybody's talking about where's David? Where's David? When's David showing up? And this whole movie takes place while the dead body's in the room. There's like maybe 4 or 5 edits throughout the whole movie.
Oh, that's the other cool thing about this.
A lot of one
long takes.
The movie is edited, but it's edited in such a way to make it look like the entire thing is
the camera will close in on a
hour and a half
guy's
take.
back.
Right.
But there aren't that many edits.
No.
And the performances are incredible. When Jimmy Stewart does find out, spoiler, but this movie came out in the 40s, so what do you want? His monologue at the end is superb. He is awesome in this.
Yeah, he really is.
You never see you do see Jimmy Stewart get angry.
Yeah.
But it's a lovable kind of angry.
Yeah.
He loses his shit at the end of this movie. He does,
but he's got a real control on it at first. Yeah.
At first.
Yeah.
But
you can see him starting to put it together and he's like, these motherfuckers.
Yeah. And when they almost get away with it, and then Jimmy Stewart comes back, you're like, oh, shit, go.
I forgot my cigarette case.
I absolutely love this movie.
Yeah, you were the one that turned me on to this movie when we first started hanging out.
Okay,
yeah,
right.
Yeah, I'd never seen it before I met you.
It's probably my favorite Hitchcock film. This and Psycho and Rear Window. Rear Window was awesome, and Brian's absolutely right. It is one location, and it's fantastic. But this is even more claustrophobic because at least in Rear Window, there's a peek into other people's rooms with all the other characters.
That's right.
There's a shot of the restaurant in the corner.
But it's still all from one location.
No. It's all from one location. It's all in that
from
little...
the point of view of Jimmy Stewart's apartment.
Yeah, it's all from the point of view of the apartment. It's all in that little square. There's the center of the complex or whatever. Courtyard.
The courtyard.
This is in one room. And that's just incredible.
Yeah.
So that's
very much like a play.
It is like a play.
Yeah.
Which is very cool. You could do that as a stage play.
Oh yeah. You could do this. Yeah.
And fun fact, the only time you ever really see David alive is in the trailer. The trailer was shot specifically for the movie. You never see any of those scenes
him alive, right.
in the movie itself.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
And in the trailer, it's a voiceover that says, "This is the last time you'll see David alive." And he's sitting on a park bench with his girlfriend, who shows up at the dinner party later.
Right. That's true.
After David has been killed and stuffed in the chest, and they eat all the dinner off of. Oh, it's so good.
That's very cool.
Just how it
really
opens
good.
up.
Hitchcock was a master.
Yeah. Just how they straight. Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah.
I highly recommend this
they
movie,
strangle him with that piece of rope, and
Definitely
then
check it
and then
out.
they leave the rope hanging out, and that's when what's his name starts freaking out, and they tie up the books with the rope.
They tie up the books with because the father's coming over to look at some antique books because that's what they did back then.
Yeah,
it's so good.
Yeah,
and the topic of all the conversations are about like the Nietzsche Superman and who would get away with the perfect murder, if anybody could get away with the perfect murder. And this is good stuff. I mean, definitely check it out.
Check it out. I agree. Highly recommend. Runners up.
I had Rear Window on as a runner up. I had Rope. I also had Dial M for Murder.
Nice.
Which takes place in a little apartment flat, and
that's true.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
And
you only cut away once when Ray Milland makes a call from the club to see if the job's done.
And even like Trouble with Harry pretty much takes place in that one.
It does a little bit.
People
it's like
coming
the
there.
little community,
right?
And on the hill outside, which is one of my favorite Hitchcock movies. I love The Trouble with Harry.
Such
a fall movie.
Another Jimmy Stewart movie, 12 Angry Men. Oh, actually, no, he wasn't in that.
No, I don't think so. No, it was Jack Lemmon, right?
Jack Lemmon.
Jack Lemmon was in it.
Well, Jack Lemmon was in the remake of it.
Yeah,
the original
Henry Fonda was in the original.
Fonda, but that was Sidney Lumet.
Sidney Lumet.
Buried with Ryan Reynolds.
Which one?
I haven't seen that.
I never saw that.
Yeah, he's buried alive, he's in a wooden coffin.
Really?
Like a cell phone.
The whole movie?
Yep.
It's like a 09 or something like that.
Something like that. It was
I've never heard of that one.
Devil.
Aughts?
Yeah, Devil.
I am a big fan of Devil.
I've got that one on my own. Yeah.
Saw.
That takes place in an elevator.
Yep.
Saw.
Yeah, not Saw, but Devil.
Yep.
Very good one.
Saw.
Saw. It takes place in one. Clerks. Yeah, I got that one too.
And Noises Off, which we mentioned
I thought you would
again
have
later.
that.
Oh.
Derek,
That was almost my first.
I didn't even think of Noises Off.
For your first, I am so surprised you didn't pick this one. That's why I knocked it way down my list. Clue.
Oh my fucking God!
Clue.
Holy shit!
That's one of my runners-up too.
How did I miss that?
I don't know.
Stinger.
That's
There's
why
your
I'm like, I can't pick this one. Derek is definitely going to pick Clue.
Yeah, that's one of my runners-up.
Wow, I'm
but I
really
didn't pick
surprised
it.
you didn't pick that.
I'm fucking.
I didn't think of it.
All right.
I am so ashamed.
Don't be ashamed.
Yeah.
You can change it if you
I'm
want.
so sorry, Tim Curry.
I'm
so sorry.
I'm so sorry, Tim Curry, Madeline Kahn, Martin Mull,
Oh, gang.
Christopher Lloyd,
Eileen Brennan.
Leslie Warren. Yeah, and
Howard
Camp.
Hessman.
from
Michael McKean.
Colleen Camp.
Yes,
Colleen
Michael
Camp.
McKean.
I was listening.
Colleen Camp.
Yeah.
Oh, back when. God,
Colleen Camp.
Damn,
See,
God.
Death Game.
I was telling Mark I just saw Death Game on Joe Bob from last season. I hadn't seen
so
it before.
good.
It's the original that Mark was talking about.
Death
Game
so
and
Knock
Noises
Knock.
Off. Like
Death Game is
two,
awesome.
like
That's it.
both with Christopher Reeve.
No,
Oh,
not
you're
Death
thinking.
Game.
Death Trap.
Death
Trap.
No,
What's
Death-
Death? Wait, what's Death
That's
Game?
Death Game is the one that was the
It was on the. It was the remake of Knock Knock. It was my
no,
geek
Knock
flag.
Knock was the remake of this one.
that's right.
That's what I
okay.
meant to say.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was Sandra
Sorry.
Locke and it was
Colleen Kemp
and
and
Cassell. What was his first
Seymour
name?
Cassell.
Seymour Cassell.
I see plenty of
Yeah.
Cassell.
Yeah, you do.
Oh, that's right. From Dick Tracy.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's right. I
Pat.
sorry. I
I
forgot
think he's
about
Pat.
that.
Was that
Tracy,
it?
are you old?
Yeah.
Derek?
Yeah.
Okay.
What else did you have?
So for mine, I've got The Hateful Eight.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's
Takes
good.
place
Good.
in one cabin, except for the coach
ride,
scene getting
yep.
there. See, I told
And
Mark
even that is very kind of confined
right.
in the coach.
Well, I told Mark, I said my criteria was it's got to be like 85 to 90% in one location. I said I'm going to make exceptions for if they're establishing how they got to the location.
Right.
And then this one, which Mark said may or may not work, Master and Commander, Far Side of the World, takes place
On a
predominantly
boat.
on a
Yeah.
ship, except for when they go to the Galapagos Islands because they need to operate on
Yeah.
the doctor who gets shot and they can't do it on the boat. They need to do it on
Yeah.
dry land.
I don't know.
But
yeah,
I told
like
Mark
the boat's traveling
but I
around,
told
but they're
Mark
on the
that
boat.
the ship is right there.
Right.
The location they bring with them.
Ship's with them.
If
Yeah.
what
Operating on
I-
the
That's
I mean,
right.
it's
By a
all-
portable
it's all
location.
subjective,
I
right,
gotcha.
that's what I
I
said.
gotcha.
Right.
And to that point, Alien. The whole thing takes
Yeah,
place
on a-
predominantly on the Nostromo.
Right.
Mark
Yeah.
also
So-
said that they do.
Event Horizon.
Some of
But
them
they
do
do
leave
leave.
to go to the alien
Right.
ship, but not all of them.
Right. My argument for this is, though, the ship. Well, they cut back to the ship.
Yes.
But the camera, if the cameraman follows them
Right. No, I
into
get
the other
that.
location,
Yes.
that's where it veers. I
Yeah.
think that would be the difference.
Yeah.
The Master and Commander, the boats in the ship. You know,
But I think that's still like as far as like how much they go to the alien ship.
yeah,
I think that
totally.
still falls within the 85 to 90%
it's still
range.
90%. Absolutely.
So-
Well, 80%. They're on
I
that
feel like
for a while.
anything that had like makes you feel claustrophobic a
Right.
little bit.
True.
Yeah.
You're like
True.
you're
Exactly.
confined.
There
And
is
you
no
can't get
wrong
more
answer.
like those scenes in the crawl spaces there on the Nostromo.
Right.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Or Event Horizon with like
Yeah.
I gotta see
Event
that
Horizon.
again.
Yeah,
I
that's
have to
another
see
good
that.
one.
Horizon? Haven't seen it in
I've
years.
also got
you've never seen it.
Oh, I've seen it. I have.
Oh, yeah,
I have
Sam
seen it
Neill.
again.
great movie.
Sam Neill with no skin.
I've also got the Rocky Horror Picture Show.
The old
Frankenstein
Frankenstein's
place.
place.
Alfred Hitchcock's Lifeboat.
I got that as well.
Yeah, it takes place in a lifeboat.
That's even more
Entirely
claustrophobic than
in a
rope
lifeboat.
because it's entire. There's
Right. No.
Except when they get to the Galapagos Islands.
That's right, and they all jump off and frolic with the seals.
And Russell Crowe
Well,
comes out.
and The Last of Sheila is
What's
also
The Last
on
of
a
Sheila?
boat.
I don't know that
Oh, it's a
one.
murder mystery.
Okay.
Oh, really good.
I think you brought that up.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Cat's Me Out. Wasn't that all on a ship?
Yes,
too?
on who's the guy?
Edward Herman there.
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
Hearst. William Randolph Hearst.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Yep, on his
Titanic
boat. Oh, there you
takes
go.
place all on a ship. Rope. I've got Rope.
Tell me like one of your French girls.
Fall. The movie Fall takes place. The two girls that climb the radio tower
right.
and get stuck up there. The entire movie, they're stuck on top of the tower.
I just thought of
saw that.
another one.
Okay.
Thank
Yep,
you.
write it in. I've got Devil, which takes place all in an elevator. Death Trap, which we had mentioned, the Christopher Reeve.
Oh, that's right, because that's
Michael
all in one house too.
Takes place all in one house. Except when they
Those two
leave to
movies
pick
are
up
great.
Christopher Reeve at
airport.
the beginning
Yep.
To go to
and
the
bring him to the
Galapagos
house.
Islands. Oh.
To go to the Galapagos Islands. I've got Noises Off, which takes place all
I can't believe I
behind
didn't even
stage
think of
play.
that. That
I watched that two
that's
nights ago.
wonderful. Noises Off? Love that.
Dead
Love
Calm. Sam Neill and Nicole Kidman and Billy Zane all on a pleasure yacht.
Billy Zane, that
Yep.
bald bastard.
Yep.
He's so handsome.
He had a handsome head of hair back
This one
then.
all in one location, but it's a big location. It's open water where the two people are left behind in the middle of the ocean, and the whole thing is just
They're waiting to
them.
perform a surgery at the Galapagos Islands.
And they have to swim to the
They gotta
Galapagos.
swim. Don't pee
That's
in the
right.
water, man. The sharks will come.
the Blake Lively shark movie, The Shallows, where she's stuck on a rock for the whole movie.
I can't watch movies like that.
Yeah, I know.
you hate
That's
those
very,
movies.
very tense.
Too much for me.
Bullet Train.
Oh,
Takes place on a train.
that's a good one.
Strangers on a Train, right?
Stranger-
Isn't it? Yeah.
The one that I just saw last month, Flight Risk. 3 people on a tiny little plane, directed by Mel Gibson. It was great.
Oh, that's the Mark Wahlberg one.
Yeah,
huh?
the
I'm
Mark.
on a plane.
I'm on a plane, guy.
Good. Look at my hair. It's not there. I'm still attractive.
Crimson Tide. The entire movie takes place on
Holy
a submarine.
shit.
Oh, that's right.
I fucking love that
Some
movie.
movies.
Another train movie, Snowpiercer.
Yep.
Oh yes,
Yeah,
Snowpiercer.
And
the entire thing
Murder
takes
on
place
the
on a
Orient
train.
Express as well.
Well, do they get
still
off the train
going.
at one point?
He's
I can't
Well,
remember.
the movie starts with off the train. They're in the station and stuff.
I thought of that one
Right.
too. Cabin in the Woods.
Oh, awesome.
Cabin in the Woods, and to that matter, Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2.
I got those.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Those didn't even pop into my
Yeah.
head.
Clerks I've got, which Derek mentioned. Clue, which Derek did not mention. Late Night with the Devil. Takes
That's a good
place
one.
entirely
Right.
in and around the set of
soundstage.
a...
I was talking to Mike Freeman about this at work today, and he had brought that up to me. He's like, "Does that count?" I'm like,
I would say
it
so.
does, yeah.
I would say so. Tito mentioned The Breakfast Club, and I think that's pretty much all I got. But as honorable mentions,
That's
I'm
it?
going to my... I know, that's it, right?
Honorable mention.
So we were talking about this at lunch with my buddy Paul at work, and he says if you want to get meta, it's The Truman Show. It all takes place on a huge sound stage. Dark City takes place on a spaceship city.
Yep, I'll give you Dark City.
Saint Elsewhere, I told Mark, takes place
it says in a snow globe.
in a snow globe for the entire show. At the end, you find out it took place in a autistic kid snow
disabled
globe.
kid, yeah.
And Men in Black, if you want to get meta, takes place in a marble.
That's true.
That's true.
It
Yeah,
does.
the whole thing takes place in a marble. And he also said I was also thinking of Sunshine with Cillian Murphy, but they do jump to another ship, which does look like the original ship, but I don't know if I can count that.
You know what that ship is called? The Galapagos.
The Galapagos.
They had
The
just
SS
finished
Galapagos.
doing surgery
No, but you know
on
what?
that ship.
Speaking of one
And Paul
spaceship
Bettany
location,
came.
Robert Pattinson, High Life.
Oh, your boyfriend.
Yes. The love of my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Two of them are going to go and honeymoon. Where are they going to
On the Galapagos Islands.
That's right.
Galapagos.
You ever see those turtles? They're fucking huge.
Yeah, they are.
You can kill them. You can go and kill them.
Ride the wave,
Yeah.
cool.
Those turtles will make fine
dude. Hey,
eating.
little dude.
Yeah. You can kill
Hell,
turtles,
dude.
but not swans. Figure that out. I like turtles better. Swans is bitches.
Well, it's a swan.
Oh, now I want to watch that.
For those at home, Tito is doing his best Nick Frost imitation from Hot
I
Fuzz.
love that. He's just like,
Could you give me a description? Well, it's a swan.
swan.
Okay. What, do you have any
Tito,
runners
what
up?
are your runners
Yeah,
up?
go ahead, Tito. The Galapagos.
Shit. Clue I had. Murder by Death, which is like a really fun movie.
Oh,
with Peter
yeah.
Falk.
Peter
Yes.
Falk.
Murder, Death, Kill.
Yeah, that's a really
Little
fun
spoof.
movie. I always like
All-star
that one.
cast.
Murder on the Orient Express, but
Yep.
The original.
the 70s version I really
Yep.
like. And Platform, which was a Netflix original
I never heard of
Spanish
Platform.
language, is about a guy who is in a room with another guy and there's a hole in the middle of it and they lower this platform with food. It starts at the top level and it goes down. And the people at the top get the first pick and the people at the bottom get the last pick.
Oh,
So
whatever's left.
everybody in the middle intentionally eats, spits in the food, shits in the food, pees on the food, ruins the food for everybody below them.
No shit. I
And
mean,
it's this endless
no
cycle.
pun intended.
After like a week or so, you wake up
Plenty of
on a different level. So the guy that's in the room has decided, like, when he's at the top, he's like, here's what we're going to do. We're going to ride the platform all the way down, and we're going to make everybody share the right way. And that doesn't go very well for him.
Oh.
But it's fun. It just takes place in this, like, vertical tunnel.
Is it a like social experiment? What's the premise?
Yeah, kind of. He signs up for it.
Okay.
Everybody in there signs up for it, or they were like a criminal of some kind.
So it's like a non-murderous Squid Game.
Yeah, kind of.
Oh.
Kind of.
Interesting.
It's fun, though. It came out a few years ago. It's called
Check it
Platform.
out.
It's got some human centipede.
I think during like the
kind of things to it.
pandemic, maybe. I think it was
because of
a
the shit.
It's
Well,
fun.
yeah.
They made a sequel. I
Platform.
never saw it, but the first one is really fun.
Platform.
They made
Really?
part
There's
two,
two
yeah.
platforms.
Yeah.
Platform 2.5, 9 and 3
I think
quarters.
it's the same thing, only it's like,
Platform
That's what
harder.
they're
the
working for.
perspective
They're
of
working
two
towards 9 of them so they can do 9 and 3 quarters.
Platform 2, Eddie's Vacation.
It's fun though.
Platform 2, Electric Boogaloo.
That's it though. I don't have anything else.
Cool. My two runners-up are 12 Angry Men and the original Evie Dead, which is like Evil Dead, except it's Evie from Out of This World, a sitcom no one remembers.
I do.
Oh, you remember?
Yeah, with the little
girl who's
the little girl
to the box with
the glowing prism with her dad in it.
Yeah. Okay.
She was hot.
Some people, she
was a
sure
little
was.
cute. She was like the Kristen Bell of the 80s.
Yes.
Oh, that's funny.
Touch their fingers
for
to
sure.
freeze time. Honorable mentions. I also had Lifeboat, Late Night with the Devil. One I just thought of, Frozen, not the Disney one, but the Adam Green movie that takes place on a ski lift throughout the whole film.
Oh, you told me about this one last year. Yeah, I
yeah, I
forgot
remember you
about
talking
that.
about that one.
Evil Dead 2, despite having
check it
that
out.
one shot at the airport, but no one cares about that. So everything else is in the cabin.
They were coming back from the Galapagos. I mean, what are you going to do?
They had a suitcase full
I
of
can do this
seals.
all fucking day, man. I'm having
hope
so
you
much
do.
fun.
Suitcase full of turtles.
I want you to be happy. You can kill turtles.
But not geese?
No, apparently it's a swan.
Swans.
You can kill all
You
the
can
geese
kill
you want.
geese.
Kill
Yeah, fuck
all the
geese.
geese you want. Kill
turtles
all the
smell.
turtles you want.
Turtle smell.
Yeah, turtles. Kill all the babies you want. Babies.
He's like the Australian Bruce Greenwood, right? Or Bruce Greenwood is the American
Sam Neill.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you're
Vince
right.
Neil.
What else did I have? I had Demons. Takes place in a movie theater. House. And
House.
I also
House.
had Open Water
House.
and Dog Soldiers.
Nice.
Oh, Dog Soldiers is a good one. I
Hanging by
forgot about Dog
werewolves.
Soldiers.
Matinee. Matinee takes place in a
Oh, in a movie theater.
and the Prairie Home Companion.
And then you
Oh,
could
yeah.
add Night of the
Another one.
Is Matinee
Night of the
the
Living Dead also.
John
Bullets
Goodman
Over
movie?
Broadway?
Yes,
Yeah.
Matinee. John Goodman. That's a Joe Dante, John Sayles
Oh, yeah.
vehicle
Okay. Yeah,
right
yeah,
there.
yeah. Okay.
The Master.
That's
Joe
a fun one.
Dante.
Good picks, boys.
Yeah, there's a lot
This
of those
was
movies.
fun.
And you know,
And we might have done this before. Remember when you had suggested this?
I wasn't sure
Folks,
if we had.
I don't think we did.
I don't think so
we
either.
did.
I
The
think it
more
might have
we
just
talk-
been something that I was
Yeah.
I had been thinking of.
Well,
I don't recall doing that.
Well, and like,
but I have a terrible memory.
and honestly, like, it's a talent. Like,
Same
it takes a good writer and director and a good cast to make something like that work.
yeah.
Tommy Wiseau. The whole thing takes place in a room.
ironically, the room takes place everywhere but a room.
Well, it takes place on the roof. Should have been called the
It
roof.
takes place on a roof. It takes place in a flower shop. It takes place in a
Takes
diner.
place on a green
right?
screen.
It takes place in a park.
Right?
But it's all in a
An
snow
alley.
globe.
Yeah,
It's all in a snow globe.
globe.
On Lisa's bed in the Galapagos.
Galapagos.
What a good idea! You brought me my snow globe, Lisa.
I'm stuck in this snow globe, Lisa.
You know, I almost went Fences and like Glenn Ross, but
Oh, yeah.
I almost feel, it's like theater, so it's almost meant to be in a room.
Yeah, you could go like Dogville.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Oh, Dogville. Oh,
You didn't like Dogville?
I did not.
I don't think I've ever seen Dog.
That
I
bored
like
the
Dogville.
hell
Nicole
out of me.
Kidman, but I loved that.
Pretentious.
No.
It's very pretentious.
Is that the one with just
It's experimental.
It sucked. All right. Great appetizer. Shall we
That
go
was
with
a
the
good one. That was
main
very
course?
Good pick, Derek. Good call.
you.
Yeah,
Good
that was a
call.
good one.
The main course?
The main course.
The main course.
Yeah, the main
Ooh,
course.
I see what
Do you want to do it?
We fooled you.
Yeah.
All right, hold on. I got to take a deep breath.
Take a deep
Hold
breath.
on.
We're gonna start slow this
All
time.
right. Oh, slow. Okay.
Wait,
Whoa.
this is
Okay, go.
No, this is still going on. Did you ever kill a turtle?
I didn't have it this week.
Of course.
There you go.
Read on. No, never mind. I'll tell you myself. But first, would you like a ding-dong? Oh, I don't mean mine. I mean a chocolate ding-dong. Of course, mine would be chocolate now that I have been dyed.
You got ding-dongs, man?
Mark.
Yeah.
Lead us in. Go ahead.
Okay, got it. No problem at all. Ever stop to think of what could have been? What if you didn't or did decide to go to college, marry or not marry that person, have the soup instead of the salad at your favorite restaurant? Think of the possibilities if Joe Namath decided not to throw a football, or if Da Vinci said to hell with painting the Mona Lisa and just took a long nap instead. If Seth MacFarlane had made his flight on 9/11, if Lincoln got sick and couldn't make the theater that night, if half the nerds who run the world now weren't bullied in school. I could go on, and who knows, in another reality I just might have. But for time's sake here, I'm going to move on and make my point in saying our movie tonight deals with parallel worlds, and for a moment, a group of friends fall into a cosmic conundrum that starts out with strange little noises and ends up a mind-bending discovery of what is going on around them and with them. Coherence takes a thought-provoking look at the often superhero film formula of the multiverse and sort of slips it in through the back door as opposed to a large opening of blue light in the sky or a supernova-sized explosion. I don't know why I didn't pick up on it. Hurling everyone into infinite possibilities. Instead, the creepy sci-fi stuff seeps in through the cracks and alters perception and reality, where the slightest decision could have a powerful impact on the future of everyone in the film. As for me, in this reality, I am sure of two things. I am about to ask these gentlemen their opening thoughts, and that somewhere in one of our realities, Tito thinks Alligator is a great movie.
That's possible. There's infinite me's.
I thought you were going to argue that point.
There could be a reality where I actually made Alligator the movie.
There could be, yeah.
But better.
Yeah. So what are your opening thoughts?
I really liked this flick. The characters were interesting. The plot was crazy, but not too confusing to follow. Not sure I would have enjoyed it as much as I did had I not read about it first, finding out about all the improv and the director's intent of making the film. I think I would have liked it, but I think that added an extra layer of interest for me. It was good pace. The similarities, including the actual line referring to the other versions as us, makes me wonder why there wasn't anything said 2 years later when Us was released and got such a huge critical reception, because the similarities are pretty blatant. But yeah, really good. I dug the actors. I really liked the like I said, the pace was great. I mean, granted, I wrote the synopsis, so an hour and a half movie took me like two and a half hours maybe, because I kept stopping and I really I picked this movie apart. Picked up all the clues and kept pausing and was like, okay, all right, what are those numbers? All right, write those down.
Yeah.
But yeah, really good flick.
There was lots of little things. Yeah. Lots of little things.
I'm really surprised that more people don't know about this movie.
I had never heard of it.
And
Tito recommended it last week.
As usual, Tito has brought a masterpiece to the table. I honestly, almost everything you've ever brought to us,
I learned about this on the interwebs.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those, yeah.
Shit, sorry.
See? I'm not the only one with headphone problems.
In another universe, I didn't do that.
Thank you. It's a fun movie.
No, you do bring movies that we have not heard of.
Yeah.
And
they're really good.
Yeah.
I feel like I've loved every single pick that you've ever brought to us.
I was thinking about it. What was the one with Ethan Hawke that you brought up a couple of...
Oh, Predestination?
Yeah, last year, the year before.
Yeah.
That was another one.
Gladiator is the one.
There's ones that we haven't even done on the show, but you've talked about and I've bought and I've watched and I've loved.
Yeah. So. So when I was watching this one, I was thinking of that one because I'm like, oh wow! I said it's kind of like the same vibe, an independent movie that's done on a shoestring budget, but done really well.
A lot with a little.
Yeah. Were you all set?
Yeah, go ahead.
I liked it too. It was a bit of a mind fuck for me though. I need to watch this another time.
Oh, absolutely.
And I will, because I was having trouble. Like you kept pausing it, and I didn't. I didn't want to stop it. I wanted to just let it unfold, in real time. And it was really fucking with me. I'm like, all right, are these people the same people that left the house? And we'll get into it more. But I mean, there were things where I'm like, maybe the house that we're focusing on is not the prime house,
right?
And I'm like, because I was like, oh, well, why is everything backwards? Why? I'll get into it later. But
especially because technically the main house, they find out that other stuff has already happened at the other house.
Right,
so it's
exactly.
If that one started first,
then why are they?
Right.
That was my point too, Derek. Thank you. But yeah, no, I liked it. I liked all the characters. I mean, almost a cast of total unknowns, except for
pretty
two
much
that I knew. Nicholas Brendan and Elizabeth Grayson.
The Highlander.
From the Highlander, which I'm watching her, I'm like, she looks so familiar.
Oh, that was the blonde. She's the blonde
on the
Highlander
show?
Yeah, she was on the Highlander the Raven.
Highlander the Raven. She was the
that
spinoff.
show nobody watched.
Yeah, but she was on the original Highlander series.
Clearly someone did.
We
recognize.
She was right on the cover.
She was in the Highlander Highlander regular series
Right.
before the spin-off.
that same character, yes.
Fuck, what a pull.
Yeah. So I recognized her, and I had to look her up because I'm like, that's where I know her from. But the cast was great for being like 90% unknowns to me. And I thought they all worked well. Like Derek said, I too looked and saw that it was mostly improvised. The script was very minimal. Yep. It was basically a bare bones outline as to what the movie makers wanted to happen from scene to scene, and the actors just went with it based on clues that they were given, and it was fantastic. I thought it was a great mystery. I had no idea where this was going, and I liked it. I liked the ride. It was a fun movie. Thank you, Tito.
Yeah. You're welcome. This is a really fun movie, and this is kind of like in my wheelhouse. I love time travel, multiversal,
same
kind of films and television, and I like movies in general where afterwards you kind of can sit and think about them.
Yeah.
And those movies typically are those kinds of movies for me because there's so many different outcomes and ways things can go. A lot of times don't make sense or won't make sense, but they're fun to just kind of talk about. I really enjoy this cast. Nicholas Brendan is really good in this movie, but he almost takes me out of it sometimes.
I know.
Because he's still fucking Nicholas Brendan,
he's
right?
Xander
if I didn't
from
watch,
Buffy.
if I didn't watch that show, then it's perfect to me. But there are points where he just takes me out of it a little bit because it has this like almost Blair Witch Project feel to it.
Right.
Yeah, a little bit.
You don't recognize people.
Yeah, and it's kind of grainy and it has that look to it of
very independent,
kind of a found footage feel. But yeah, really fun movie. I really like the way it ends. I don't like anybody in this movie. They're very besides Mike, who I think is hilarious. He's fucking hysterical in this movie. He's so good. And the M character, who I mean, she's super attractive. Just watching her move across the screen is fun. And I like that we're kind of you're with her the entire time.
Right.
So at the very least, she's the one you've been seeing the whole time. Mm-hmm. Everybody is so, and you said it in your intro, where it was just like this dinner party of people, and I was just like, I would not want to hang with any of these fucking people ever. Even in the world where they're like happy and enjoying each other.
Right.
They are just like not my kind of people.
No, they're very self-absorbed.
I kind of like Lee.
You know what? She's got like a nothingness to me where she's just kind of there.
Yeah.
But she is very sweet and very nice.
The nicest of them.
She's nice. She's sweet, but
she was also
mousy.
kind of the most
she goes and takes a
vapid.
nap for part of the movie too.
That's weird.
Oh yeah, that's hilarious. On ketamine. Ketamine. Of course, that chick brought ketamine.
I know exactly. The Raven.
But yeah, just a fun movie. Yeah. It's kind of kooky. It's and it's the kind of movies that I enjoy watching.
Mm-hmm.
So thank God for the found footage feel, because I like movies that feel like that, even if they're not technically found footage films. It's like one of those, but you don't have to justify the person holding the camera.
Mm-hmm.
Chernobyl Diaries is a lot like that, which is a great film, and it has that similar feel to it. I didn't like any of these people either. I don't like dinner parties. This looks like the lamest, just most boring, pretentious dinner party. Mm-hmm. And Sarah and I were watching this last night. We were like, what did Tito get us into? But the found footage thing, or feel to it, saved it for me, because it's like, all right, these are the kind of, this is why I watch found footage movies. People I don't like, shit's going to happen to them.
Right.
Yeah.
And like the handhelds, like
exactly
following the
Blair
characters.
Witch Project.
Yeah.
Prime example. When I don't like people, odds are in a found footage movie, I'm very happy as to what happens to them.
Yeah.
So we continued the movie. We had to watch it anyway, but we weren't sure. And then once shit started happening, it happened quick, and I ended up really liking the movie a lot. I don't like the people in it, but I like what happens to them, and I like the idea. I like the way it's filmed. I kind of wanted more. I liked the idea of M killing her and getting evil M, basically, and I was kind of hoping for a little bit more of a body count.
Yeah.
Because this could have gone into a much more disturbing level.
A little bit of a horror direction.
It goes a little... It doesn't go too
especially
hard.
because they kind of tease it with Mike saying that, he would get drunk and kill people.
It sets it up like a horror film, and then it just kind of...
skirts around it.
Yeah.
I feel like it just ends. Like it ends. Yeah. It ends where it should have began, or ends where it should have picked up in the second half. Like people are going to start offing themselves for better versions of themselves.
Yeah.
That's a cooler movie to me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like that idea.
Yeah.
I want more of that. Having said that, though, I think it was a great pick.
Yeah.
They
like all the alternate reality houses, they start killing each other off like Battle Royale style because they know there can only be one before the comet passes and all the other realities collapse. There's only one left.
I thought we were going to get more of that stuff, especially with all the infidelity going on. I thought, well, it's a good movie, but I if anything, it just left me wanting a little more. How do you say it? Comeuppance? I always say comeuppance.
Yeah.
Comeuppance with some of those characters.
Comeuppance.
Comeuppance.
No Muppets.
Comeuppance.
How do you say it?
Comeuppance.
Comeuppance.
Yeah.
I'm going to say
Comeuppance.
comeuppance because it's funner.
Comeuppance.
Comeuppance.
Yeah.
Sarah
And
corrects me
it's
on that
funny
all
that
the
you
time.
just brought up Cloverfield because I meant to put down 10 Cloverfield Lane as one of
another one.
But he ran out of space
But I
on his
ran out of space
laptop. Because he had about 50 on there. Dude, this guy's still scrolling.
He's still reading.
I was having a lot of fun.
You
was
like the
another one I was
idea
thinking
of,
of, too.
like clones or alternate, like other versions of people killing them, their versions?
I just
Check out on Shudder, because I know you're a subscriber to Shudder.
I happen to be.
Elizabeth Harbist.
Okay.
One of the girls from the blonde bride from Fury Road.
Fury.
Oh,
The blonde.
All right. Yeah.
It's got her in it.
Oh, one of Immortan Joe's.
Yes. The one that's the pregnant one, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, the one she was from Transformers.
And she,
yeah.
similar kind of thing going on with like
Cool.
versions of her, and good.
Awesome.
You would enjoy that.
Yeah, I see it's like a good start to something, but there's so much more that you can take from
I
that.
think if the people were more likable, I would have been more satisfied that they all survived. But I didn't really like anyone, and I kind of wanted more of them to get ganked.
I'm very happy that she leaves that house, and I'm like, these people blow.
Right. Yeah.
I would too.
Absolutely.
But there's an opportunity to show that house where they all kill each other.
Yeah.
Right? Because she goes to a bunch of different houses.
Absolutely.
There's absolutely an
definitely
opportunity
a
for
sequel
that.
in this movie. Like you could do a lot with a next installment, like a continuation.
Star Trek:
of the
The Next Generation did this perfectly with an episode where Worf is shifting through alternate realities every second, and in one version, Riker's the captain, another one he's married to Troy, and in the next second he isn't, and then the next second he's at his birthday party, and Captain Picard isn't there, and then he turns around and Captain Picard is there, and only he realizes everything's changing around him. You know, and then there's this one moment when all enterprises from different universes converge, and one of them, you know, they all have to do something to get back into their own timelines, but there's one ship that's stalling, and it appears on screen, and it's Riker, and he's all disheveled. He's like, we're not going back, the Borg took over, everyone's been assimilated, we're not going back. So they have to destroy that ship. And I was like, damn, I wonder if that's where First Contact came from. Like somebody saw that moment and was like, we got to make a whole movie out of that. And they eventually like that would be cool, that kind of thing, to go and look at all these different realities in the house and like you said, come across one and there's just a house
and then
full
at the
of
end
dead
you've
people.
got two M's.
Yeah, right.
I know.
So like,
So-
you know, what do you do when you're
Sleep with them both.
Absolutely. Come on, girls, get along.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
I know,
Let's get into the story, Derek.
All right.
Good call.
You
All
guys
right.
ready?
Synopsis.
Let's do it.
All right. Coherence, 2013 directorial debut of... No, not Comeuppance. I said Coherence.
No,
I said
Mark just said
Oh. The directorial debut of James Ward Brykit, who had previously worked as a consultant on the first three Pirates of the Caribbean movies.
a long way.
The film stars Xander from Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Nicholas Brennan, as well as a cast of lesser-known actors and actresses, including Lauren Mayer, who played Scarlet the Courtesan in the Pirate series, and Elizabeth Grayson, who we mentioned, who played Amanda on Highlander, the series, and its spin-off, The Raven. Brykit sought to prove, making this movie, that you can make a lot with a little. He had a $50,000 budget. It was shot over 5 nights in a single location, his own home, where his wife was pregnant, and during the actual production,
This happened to you?
No,
She
we
gave
both had an
birth. She had a-
epiphany.
she had
Mark
a
and I
home
both
birth.
looked at each other and thought, paranormal activity!
How did we forget paranormal activity?
Oh, that's funny. I did.
I'm so
That's
sorry,
funny.
Derek.
Oh,
But we
me
realized
too.
it at the same time.
When you said he filmed it in his own home, we're like, paranormal
Holy
activity!
shit,
It's
the
same
ultimate
thing.
one fucking location.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
Go
Oh, that's
ahead.
sorry,
Derek,
Continue.
sorry.
We're going to try not to do
I
that.
thought of it, but I didn't pick it.
This might happen all night.
Like we said, mostly improv dialogue. The actors didn't get scripts. Instead, they received a small paragraph that was for their eyes only, which would explain their goals for the day, allowing the story to unfold naturally and create genuine reactions in the other actors.
Yeah, it was
Lee,
well done.
you take a nap.
Yeah.
In fact,
You decide what happens.
You're the worst at improv. You go take a nap.
Will this get me closer to that Oscar? Oh, you bet. You sleep like nobody's ever slept before.
In fact, the lead, M, she didn't know that she was the lead until much later in the film when things start to really pick up.
Yeah.
So they Blair Witch the hell out of this.
Speaking of Emily Foxler, who plays M, is married to Justin Baldoni and was in the film that created all the media hoopla between Baldoni and Blake Lively.
Oh, really?
Oh, she is in that. She's in that movie.
She has a part in that movie, yeah. But she's married to him.
I haven't seen that.
I forgot what you said already.
Yeah.
What was it called again?
I don't even remember the name.
The problem with us?
Yeah,
or
or
something
the best
with
of us, or
something of us.
It's not
This
the
Is
last
Us?
of us because that's something totally different.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
It ends with us.
Yeah, it ends with us.
It ends with us.
And so does the title.
A quick little definition: coherence, quantum coherence versus decoherence. Coherence is the quality of being logical and consistent, forming a unified whole. Signature prop of quantum
Mechanics?
of quantum matter waves.
Oh.
I think I was in the middle of a thought, and I apparently dropped it. The quantum definitions that I was reading up on for both of these is very confusing. It's confusing as hell, so feel free to Google and wiki that shit on your own if you'd like a better understanding. But essentially, it's really like the idea that they explain in the movie is to keep whatever all these alternate realities, they shouldn't have contact with themselves, and things will be okay.
Right.
And obviously, throughout this movie,
they do.
That does not happen. So let's start.
Let's do it.
Coherence begins with a lot of character development. We start first with M, who is on the phone with Kevin while arriving to a dinner party. They get disconnected as M is trying to get him to tell her what they need to talk about. He's saying, we got to talk about something important tonight. As she pulls the phone away from her face, it suddenly cracks and like smashes on its own. Inside the house, bread and salad are being prepared by some more friends. Beth, Lee, and Mike, who's Xander, who's also Lee's husband, which we don't find. The interesting thing about this is that I had to go back and like put in who these people are because they don't tell you right off the bat.
No.
No, they're all just
They
kind
all
of there.
look and act and sound alike at first, and you don't know who.
Exactly.
They talk about Amir bringing the Laurie to dinner, so clearly there's some type of history there. Emily didn't know that. Beth has a strange clear liquid drug with ketamine. She offers up to M because Laurie is coming.
What did she say?
She's like,
just a whisper?
Just a whisper.
Yeah.
He's like, ketamine, that's for a horse. It's just a whisper.
She lists all these like natural things. These like jasmine and lavender and a little bit of ketamine.
I would like to hit her over there with a frying pan. I can't stand this woman.
I hated her in this.
Especially when she gets into the feng shui
Oh,
stuff.
yeah, no,
Oh, my
I
God.
can't. She's the worst.
She's sitting there with her health stuff. I was just like, I just wanted to be like, hey, I'm eating a Hot Pocket. Look, none of this is real.
Yeah. None of these ingredients are natural.
Oh, but they taste so good.
We find out that there's Miller's comet. It's in the sky that night. It could have possibly caused the crack. They're saying that it's some phenomenon that is
The crack in their phones.
The cracks in their phones could have been caused by the comet.
Because M isn't the only one. They find out that everybody's phone had cracked pretty much.
Yeah,
Right.
during the dinner party.
Next, two guys show up who I thought were a gay couple when they arrived.
Yeah, same.
But apparently it's Hugh, who's Beth's husband, and M's boyfriend, Kevin.
Yeah.
He needs
Who she was on the phone with earlier.
They kind of go off to the side. He needs an answer from her tonight about going with him on some type of trip. He's got an editor who's trying.
Vietnam, I believe.
Yes,
Galapagos.
Galapagos.
Surgery he's got to perform.
on a turtle.
And eat a turtle.
You can kill him.
So he needs an answer that night. He needs to know how to book the hotel. The fact that I didn't catch him being introduced in the film as Kevin at first, coupled with the body language between the two, I had thought at this scene that they were like having an affair.
Okay.
Because I was thinking I didn't know he was Kevin. He wasn't introduced as Kevin. But they get very kind of touchy-feely and they're off having a little moment. Amir and Laurie arrive next. As they sit down to begin dinner, they realize all the phones are down. M calls out about the comet again. She brings that up. She talks about a thing in Finland where the comet affected people the way that they act, including a woman whose husband was not her husband because she had killed him the day before.
Oh, I like that story. Yeah,
That's
fun.
great.
And then she brings up the Tunguska event, too, in Siberia, where it exploded in the atmosphere and
later
knocked all
on.
the trees down.
We learn that the house we're at for the party is Lee's house, who's kind of like a mousy Tina Fey type. She was kind of cute. I like.
No,
her.
I'm gonna say she's cute. She was.
Who's that, Lee?
She was
Lee,
cute.
yeah, with the
that
glasses.
girl.
Yeah.
That girl is more.
Yeah, but I thought that
in
Laurie
real
was
life is dating Bo Burnham, which I.
Oh, really?
I know Bo Burnham.
Oh, wow.
Not personally, but I know.
I thought the one that played
piano
Laurie was
player?
the cutest one in the
good.
cast.
Laurie,
yeah.
So she's the one that was in Pirates. She's the.
Wait, who's Laurie?
the
Was she the
Laurie's-
bitchy one?
yeah.
No, I didn't like her.
The ex-girlfriend that kisses Kevin. Yeah.
And her ugliness overshadowed.
friend
Oh, see, I
Hopper.
thought she was the cutest
She
one.
has
I
the
didn't-
hopper pass.
I'm
for his friends.
not gonna lie. I liked
The park
Lee.
hopper.
I thought Lee was that girl that gets wild.
Yeah.
Behind.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
I bet
yeah.
she does.
Yeah,
I bet
yeah,
she
yeah.
does. Especially to be married to Mike. Yeah, she's
Oh God, I hate
Yeah.
Mike. Okay, we'll get to
definitely
that.
likes the back door.
Yeah, she likes a finger in her bum.
Yeah, or 2 or 3. Mike is the one at the, is the one of the group that apparently does not dance around awkward things. He's the only one. He calls Laurie the wrong name purposely. He's saying must have mixed her up with another girl that dated Kevin and now dates Amir.
Well, he's offended because she never saw him in Roswell.
Well, no, that
Or even
comes
those-
next.
True, yeah.
That comes next. That's not. I think he just has animosity towards her. I think they all do.
No, he says the comment about the
No, he says it after.
I was
Trust
on
me.
Roswell.
Listen. I wrote this as I was
I
watching
don't know,
it.
man. You fucked up quantum mechanics, so.
Laurie, no, because
And you stopped the movie to type it up.
after he says all this stuff. No, so Laurie, after Mike says that stuff to her, Laurie starts asking him questions, and we learn that Mike is an actor and was on the show Roswell for 4 seasons as a season regular named Joe, which is a character that did not exist on the actual
Not on
Roswell
the show.
I never saw the show, but I figured that
Yeah.
was
So kind of right there, like a
There's
little
hot
hint at
chicks in
like
it.
Yeah, things are not
alternate
right.
universes.
Yeah.
And Laurie seems to agree with me because she was a huge fan of the show,
Yeah, but she's like,
doesn't
I don't
remember him on it.
Yeah, yeah.
Foreshadowing.
That's like when Kennedy interviewed Martin Landau during the Mission Impossible movie premiere, not knowing that he was a regular on the show. That was a hilarious interview. Martin Landau gets all pissed at her.
MTV's Kennedy.
Really?
Yeah, MTV's
you
Kennedy.
should-
Not President Kennedy.
You should
Yeah.
specify because most
That's
people
Fox
don't remember
News
who she
Kennedy?
is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Yeah.
It's not
MTV's
Fox News
Kennedy.
now. She's Kennedy. She's still doing her thing.
She's like far right now.
Yeah.
She knows a lot about music still.
Yeah.
And apparently not about Mission Impossible.
It's probably all Christian
missionary.
music, though.
No. I never watched that show either. Tom Cruise is a shit.
So Laurie turns her check in with M next. She starts asking her questions. M was creating a dance show that was not a show like Dancing with the Stars, like an actual like
Scripted
dance.
series. Oh, like a performance.
Right.
Yeah.
She was creating the show that was going well, but then they brought in a better dancer and changed her to understudy, despite her having created the show to begin with. She takes too long to think about being the understudy because she doesn't really want it, and then ends up losing that as well. The understudy ends up
Becoming the
doing
star.
the show, yeah, because the original star gets hurt. So Laurie makes this bitchy comment that Catherine Maris, the understudy, essentially has her life.
Stole her life. Yeah,
Right.
her life.
So
Yeah.
another whole like in another
Yeah.
parallel universe.
This is one of
Exactly.
those things. You go back and watch this again, you're going to pick up on all new
totally,
kinds
totally.
of
Did you ever see that movie? Was it Closing Doors or something?
Sliding doors,
Sliding Doors.
which they
Yeah.
talk about.
They
They,
mention
actually
it.
bring it up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's right,
They
they
talk
did.
about it.
Yeah.
And how like
Because I was thinking about that before they brought it up.
because
Yeah, that
Gwyneth Paltrow misses
movie.
the train
Yes.
in one line,
Yes.
then he catches it in the other.
Yeah. And the movie keeps switching back and forth between the
Right.
two alternates.
Yeah.
It's good.
Gwyneth Paltrow, right?
Yeah.
Isn't that-
Yeah.
Names are Kid Apple in one, names are Orange in the other one.
Can't compare the two.
Kevin talks about a dream that he has about a black bear, or had.
Oh, yeah.
About a black bear, like kind of mauling him, and then was jumped on by a black dog, whose name winds up being Bear. Just then, Hugh's phone shatters. Still no signal for anyone. Hugh needs to get in touch with his brother, Brian, apparently.
Yeah, the astrophysicist.
Right. So, is he, or does he hang out with? I
He's
thought
like a
at
I thought
first
they
I
said he
said,
was an astrophysicist.
He's a professor of some kind.
yeah.
Well, he's got the look.
With no
He couldn't be
landline,
anything else.
with no landline and no internet connection. Brian had told Hugh to call him if anything strange happens.
Yeah.
Because he kind of knew things were going to be weird.
This is all his fault.
Yeah.
As they're talking about that, the lights suddenly go out, and there's a loud piercing sound when it happens. They scramble and light some candles very quickly.
Yeah.
They had them ready. And they crack open a box of blue glow sticks.
Left over from a rave.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we said least freaky. The whole neighborhood is out of power except for one single house at the end of the block, or a block
like
away.
two blocks over?
Two blocks away,
Yeah.
right. The group goes outside to look at it, and above them they can see the comet in the sky. Due to the cold, they all return back inside. On the table is a broken glass that no one remembers breaking.
Right.
They chalk the powered up house down the block to a generator, and Hugh decides he wants to go over there. He wants to make the call.
I thought it was funny because this is another thing that makes me think that they're not the prime house.
Right.
Because Mike, played by Nicholas Brendan, like it's his house. It's like, why doesn't he automatically think like, hey, I got a generator. Why don't I turn mine on?
Right.
But he doesn't. He's
no,
like
Lee ends up suggesting
he's
telling
like,
him
oh
to
yeah,
go
that's right. I do have a generator.
Right.
Why don't I fire it up?
Right. And and the glass. Like I didn't even think about that until towards the end of the movie. I'm like,
James Brykit said that you may not be watching the
prime.
Okay.
Right.
All right.
Which makes sense.
Which is what I was thinking too after all that.
Up for you to decide.
Because as I'm watching it, I'm like, everything that's happening to them has already happened in the other house.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking like the other house is them coming to this house and knocking on the door and leaving notes. And I'm like, it's not the prime house that we're watching.
No.
So anyway, sorry.
No, it's all right. So Hugh repeats his brother's request about that if anything strange happens while the comet's there, that they should stay inside and he should try and contact them. So he and Amir decide to venture off. They're going to go to this other house. They're going to try to make a call. Hugh, who I thought was a gay man when he first walked in, appears to possibly be Beth's husband.
Yeah.
Possibly, I wrote this and I didn't go back and change it. So he's Beth's husband.
Yes.
M talks about the comet, the one that happened 100 years ago, and that it was too far away for anything to happen. This time it's much closer.
Yeah.
And she also mentions the Tunguska event,
yes,
which is a comet that exploded over Earth in Siberia. Tons of trees were flattened by the blast, and only 2 people died.
Yeah, because not that many people lived in Siberia 100 and something years ago.
It was like 1908, 1903, something like that. As she's telling the story, a loud bang from outside occurs. It scares them all. Kevin looks out, but no one's there. Beth wants to go out and look for the guys. The power suddenly comes on. The power comes on because of the generator.
Right. Yeah. Mike fires up the generator.
Tempers flare for a bit, and they sit to calm down, but the doorbell rings, and it's Hugh and Amir. Hugh is bleeding from the side of his head. Amir has a metal box in his hands. He puts that down on the table and says that they found it at the other house.
Yeah, but Hugh doesn't realize that he had picked it up.
Right.
Yeah.
He said he thought he saw
And
Hugh
Amir
put it
thinks it's
down
Hugh's.
and then run around a corner. Hugh asks him why he grabbed it and asks why he grabbed it and says he doesn't know what it was. He doesn't want to open it, freaks out. Mike finally does break into it, and inside is a ping pong paddle and an envelope. And inside the envelope are pictures of each of them. And there on the back of the pictures are numbers. They want to know what Hugh saw, but he's ignoring them. He's
freaked out.
He's acting very strange.
He's bleeding from the temple. His forehead is cut.
He says he went to the window and looked in the window and saw a table set for dinner for 8 people. He says then he saw the group. Kevin asks him if he was banging on the door, but he says no. He says he banged on the door at the other house, the back door, the side door.
What they kept referring to as the door to nowhere.
Right.
Yeah.
They think he went in a circle and just came back to them and thought that he was at the other house. Hugh says he's going to go back there. He starts writing a note. Hey there, don't mean to freak you. We got you guys out. As he's writing, Laurie sees someone outside. A big guy is at the door. Kevin and Hugh go to answer. There's no one there, but a note is there. The same note that Hugh was starting to write. But it's completed. It's got all the rest of what he was writing. Next, Lee puts a cloth Band-Aid on Hugh. That's important.
Yeah.
That's why I wrote cloth Band-Aid.
Yeah, because she asked him,
gives
two
him the
kind of
option.
Band-Aids. You want the
Right.
plastic one or the cloth one?
The group goes through the pictures and the numbers, trying to figure out what it all means. There's no 3 listed. Lee, Hugh, and Mike have number 1 on the back of their pictures. Laurie has number 2. Beth and M have 4, Amir 5, and Kevin 6. Some of them have the same numbers. We don't know why. We don't know what the numbers are. Amir's picture had to have been taken that night because the sweater he's wearing is a brand new sweater he bought that day.
Yeah.
And he's looking right at the camera.
Mm-hmm. And
From a
he
corner
knows
of the
exactly
apartment.
where he is in the dining room.
So, and they have this really kind of cool, like, where they're trying to reconstruct where the picture
photo,
was taken. Like, oh, was it over at the door? So maybe someone was outside and took it, but no, he's looking right at it. Em and Kevin stay at the table while the others go to get a drink. Em says the handwriting on the pictures looks like her handwriting.
Right.
She recognizes it. Nothing makes sense to her. She also adds that the story he told earlier about the bear, about the dream that he had, was not from when he was with her. It was from when he was with Laurie, and Em was bothered by that.
Yeah. Adding to the tension.
He says that, though, initially. You got a crazy story? And he's like, yeah, it's from when I dated Laurie.
See, I thought he said M.
No, he says from when I dated Laurie, though.
All right.
And then there's that whole exchange of
he kind of does
I had a different life back then.
Because he says that, but he's right next to M, and he like kind of touches her.
Yeah.
So maybe he was just trying
to make her feel better.
Right.
Yeah.
Telling a story about his ex-girlfriend, which is so fucking weird. That could only happen at a party like that with those people.
Right, with pretentious white people.
Fucking
but
awful.
the weird thing was the story itself had nothing to do with her. It just happened. So why don't you just leave that part out?
Right.
Yeah.
Here's a dream I had a long time ago.
Right.
You know? That was a little strange.
In the meantime, the group has decided to all go over to the new house, the other house together. Hugh suddenly doesn't want to, not splitting up. Just going into I love this the line like we're gonna split up. No, we're not gonna split up. We're just going in two separate groups.
Yeah.
Lee, Hugh, and Amir stay behind while the others go. Mike says the house is his house. He looks in the windows. They hear someone coming and hide. This part is really cool. Across the street, 4 people in the shadows with red glow sticks.
Yeah.
They see them. They kind of
and everybody freaks out, runs in different directions.
First, see, I thought the reds were coming at them. I didn't realize they were running away
too, but they never. They just go. But it did look like they were running after him at first.
So the group runs back to the house and recall. They tell the others what happened, and they also mention that out there is it's a weird darker zone. It's all pitch black. There's nothing. You can't see anything in it or
like
around.
A void.
Right. Amir and foreshadowing. Literally shadowing. Amir and Hugh are talking to each other quietly for a moment. They kind of, they're off to the side, kind of whispering to each other. Em is asking if they have any books for some reason.
Yeah. On quantum physics.
Right. Mike doesn't, but Beth says something about Hugh's brother leaving a book at the house.
Yeah.
And she put it in the backseat of his car
for some reason.
Right.
Yeah.
She's mailing him the book.
This is what started like.
She's mailing him the
He
book.
writes about stuff like the comet. So Hugh and Kevin go outside to get the book. Em watches from the door and gets scared, but it's just Kevin and Hugh coming back, which you think that she'd be able to see them. In the envelope, a book called Gravitation, An Introduction to Current Research, that is in there. They look at it. Brian's, I guess, a really smart guy. He's kind of a nerd.
Thank you.
Both. Inside the book are notes from Brian, including the thing about Schrodinger's cat. He explains a bit of quantum science. Cat in the box with a vial of basically anybody who doesn't know about Schrodinger's cat would.
Yeah.
I honestly never.
I never heard the poison thing. I didn't know
either.
I thought that was a.
Yeah, I think they might have
It's
added
either
that.
alive
I
or
always
it's
thought
dead
it
in
was
the
just
box.
the cat in the box.
So
They talk
apparently-
about that in John Carpenter's Prince of Darkness. There's a whole conversation about
So apparently,
it's a thought experiment.
Right.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, there's a cat in a box with a vial of poison in it. There's a 50-50 chance of it living. So if the vial breaks, then the cat's going to be dead. Basically, the theory argues that they're both real until the box is opened and those
one reality collapses.
converge. Yeah. So you basically find out the truth. Quantum decoherence ensures that two realities do not touch each other. Decoherence keeps them separate. It's pretty much accepted that it happened. They all kind of just are like, okay.
Oh, okay.
So we're in an alternate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like there's no arguing about it.
Yeah.
I guess they've seen enough evidence.
Yeah, they've seen other versions of themselves multiple times now.
Laurie talks about sliding doors. Mike doesn't want their other version's reality to collapse theirs.
Yeah.
So he starts getting he gets
yeah,
all fired up.
We got to take them out.
And he says that he's just going to fight himself because he asks, what if he's drinking? Basically, we find out that Mike is a
he's a recovering
alcoholic.
right? Yeah.
He's sober, But apparently he's a very mean
You know
drunk.
what's crazy about this that I learned today? Very meta. Nicholas Brendan, not a nice guy.
No.
And
Really?
and quite the substance abuse issue.
Yes.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah.
He had his run-in with...
He got arrested a few times.
Yeah, he
he dragged his
that's
girlfriend
probably about
through
10 years
like
ago. He started
beat
to
his
spiral out of
girlfriend up in
control.
like the middle of
Now I like him even
Yeah.
more.
I'm willing
Yeah.
to bet that was probably part of the improv then. He probably
Maybe.
took from his own... Because all the names, other than his name,
Yeah.
because he's Mike,
Right.
Yeah.
but all the other names, Emily plays
M.
Lee, Laura Lee or something like that
Yeah.
is Lee.
Yeah.
Elizabeth.
Yeah.
Beth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? So they're all
Yeah.
like...
Well, there's Murray plays Kevin. Hugo
Right.
plays Hugh. And Lauren plays Laurie.
Yeah. Because they really don't like... I mean, I don't think that was a big plot point, really. It didn't turn out to pan out to be like a big thing, is his drinking. So...
Well, his drunk version that does want to kill shows up to try to kill.
Right. Mm-hmm. Right.
But is unsuccessful. But yeah, I think all that stuff kind of happened after this movie, though, as far as like him getting arrested
Right.
and things like that. But I believe he's had like a substance abuse problem.
Yeah,
So-
you're right.
So it's apparent Mike's an awful drunk, and it would be very bad if he was over there drunk and coming to them, because he thinks that he'd be willing to kill people if he was drunk. He says he saw Hugh and Amir and Lee. Lee was currently taking a nap though, so Mike didn't see Beth because maybe she was the one napping in that universe. If she's napping instead, the other group doesn't have the book that led them to this conversation because Beth is the one that brought up the book. If they don't have the book, they haven't had that conversation that they're having right now. So they plot to go steal the book from the other Hughes car so that the other group doesn't have the conversation and plot to kill their reality. And mind you, this is at this point in the movie
Madness.
We
This
all,
is the month of science fiction.
and we
madness.
pretty much think that there's just this house and that house, and that's it.
Yeah.
Hugh's saying that they really shouldn't mess with anything. Mike is adamant to go over there. What if it's us? Lee gets up from the nap. Mike tells Kevin an idea to blackmail his other self and leave a note. He wants to go over there, leave a note for himself that's basically going to blackmail himself so that he will not go out and get the book. He apparently has some type of secret with Beth and that no one knows about and that he can use. They've filled in Lee about the theory. She had taken, you find out that she's taken some of the drops of the ketamine from Beth.
Just a whisper.
Yes.
Whisper.
M gets all upset, asks if Beth put anything in their food. She thinks maybe the whole thing is just a big hallucination because they're all drugged.
Reasonable. There is ketamine in the house.
Beth gets very defensive. She says she wouldn't do that. She says Lee asked for those drops.
Echinacea.
They go and check the bottle. The dosage missing from the bottle should not be enough to cause hallucinations and paranoia. So Amir wants it to be the explanation for the whole thing. M has deja vu as Beth and Lee have the same conversation they had at the beginning of the movie about where she got a decoration. In the other room, Hugh and Amir are holding red glow sticks and examine the boxes. The red is not cracked. He tells Amir that they need to get out of there. These two are not this group's Hugh and Amir. That's confirmed.
Yeah.
Which I knew. As soon as they got back, I was like, these two aren't the right ones.
You could tell they were acting very strangely.
Right.
Oh, what is it? What is it?
And like I had noticed that a couple times they kind of, you could see them go off on their own and talk.
Yeah.
Like, so I knew something was up.
Plus, he had blood on his head. That should tip you off that something went awry.
Right.
Amiss. Something's amiss.
Something's amiss. Just a whisper of an amiss.
Just a whisper. whisper.
Mike gets back and he's in a daze. He says he needs a drink. All of a sudden,
course he does.
Yeah. He says he saw the book and was going to smash the window, but he didn't do it. Instead, just dropped the letter. He says he was going to wait to see the reaction, but he freaked out. He says he was gone for 45 minutes. Kevin says he's only been out of his sight for about 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Mike goes to get a drink and Kevin goes after him. Amir and Hugh pack up the metal box and take the book, sneaking out. The group watch Mike pour himself a glass of wine and realize Amir and Hugh, as well as the book in the box, are gone. And Laurie says that they seem strange since they came back after first leaving. Kevin tries to leave, but M won't let him go. And then M realizes that even though they took those clues came from the other house, which means that they have the clues there in the house still. They have their versions. So since they brought the box from the other house, it means the box and the contents are also in the house. Lee's worried about Mike, and she's washing dishes. Off to the side, Beth withdraws more ketamine into a syringe, which looks very sinister.
Yeah.
I thought that she was going to inject her from behind, but she doesn't. In the other room, Mike returns to M with a stack of photos he took from he's taken of M and Kevin. He's apparently a big into photography, including the one that was cut in half.
You like pictures? You like pictures, eh?
Pictures?
Just with quantum realities here. All of them have pictures, though. We can go to any one of the pictures. Your wife, is she a goer, eh?
She into photography.
I'm a vampire in all of them.
So it includes the picture, the one of Kevin and M in the original box was cut in half. It was the same picture, just cut in half. So it includes that, and Mike, talking to her, actually hands her a pair of scissors because he's like, well, it's cut, so you're gonna cut it. He leaves the table and she hesitates. You don't see her cut it. Elsewhere, Laurie somewhat corners Kevin, asking if he's okay, and saying Amir told her about M's hesitation to go with Kevin on the work trip. She's entirely too close to him in the darkened hallway. She seems like a shit stirrer.
This is Laurie.
She is.
Laurie.
Yeah, Laurie.
Meanwhile, Beth is overhearing and watching everything from the shadows. The shadow knows.
The shadow knows. The evil that lurks in the hearts of
they kiss. He backs away. He kind of shuts her down. Beth goes into the table where M's saying she thinks everything happens for a reason. Lee checks on Mike. He says he fucked up. Next Kevin is in the kitchen, and M comes in asking him how he's doing. Beth said and tells her that Beth told me she saw you and Laurie in the hallway. Kevin brushes it off. The lights go out again before really the conversation can go any further. As they light candles, a glass breaks. They all decide to go out and check it. The back window of a car, of Hugh's car, is smashed, but there was nothing in there because they had already removed the book.
The book.
Yeah.
They go and check their own cars. Inside the glove box of one of hers, M finds and she takes out a ring that's all wrapped up for some reason. She keeps it in the glove compartment. Apparently, Kevin wanted at a fair for her, and she wanted to wear it. She just she asks him if they're okay, and they hug. Things are okay, apparently. Then she asks him if the others took anything from Hugh's car. He doesn't seem to understand the question. She says he went to go check on Hugh's car. So did they take anything? She backs away from him as a couple flashes. You can see in the background, there's a couple red lights.
Yeah,
in the
glow
background.
sticks.
Yeah.
Right. So clearly this is not her Kevin. She backs away from him. M goes back into the house where Kevin's already in there. He's talking with the group. They're talking about the car with the broken window. Kevin asks where she was, and she tells him she went to go get the ring. He looks at it and says it's nice, clearly not recognizing it. He doesn't know it, where it was it was from. The other Kevin did, because she talked to him about the ring, and he remembers giving it to her.
Yeah.
There's more noises outside. Laurie sees someone coming. Amir and Hugh walk in. They put the book down. They went to make a phone call, and when they looked in, they saw them all. He got startled and fell and hit his head. They went back to the house, but they say that he already told them. The Band-Aid on his head is different.
Yep.
So this is now a different one.
Hugh.
Yeah.
Everybody following this out there so far?
I know.
Yeah, but at that point, they actually think it is their Hugh.
Right.
Yes.
So they think
it's
that
their
Amir and Hugh seem to be the right
it's
ones.
the real ones.
They have blue.
always be
Because they have blue glow
They've
sticks.
got blue glow
Right.
The only
sticks.
problem is there are only 3 options: red, blue, or green.
Right.
Yes.
Exactly.
So, and infinite numbers of them.
Uh-huh.
Right. So,
They
we never see a green glow stick.
No, we don't.
family.
No. So they have blue glow sticks, but they brought red ones. They infiltrated the red group, or a red group. Hugh says Mike is worried about himself. Turns out that there are 4 notes total. All of a sudden, they decide to mark their house, and how they're going to do that? They want to put something random, so that they will know what that item is.
Right.
They realize they're doing what the other already did. So, again, confirming that
This might not be the
is
prime,
not the prime
universe.
M cuts the pic of her and Kevin so that they don't have to use a picture that was in Laurie's wallet. Laurie goes to pull out, I have a picture. My bank account is written on the back of a picture of my ex-boyfriend.
I've been carrying this photo forever.
Right.
Yeah.
Amir has no picture, so they take a picture of him instead. Amir's picture is slightly different than the other picture.
But taken in the same location.
Right, with the mirror and everything.
So, but it's because it's different, it's a divergent point. To mark the pictures, they decide to use a blue marker since they are the blue house. They roll dice to get random numbers. They put a coaster in instead of a ping pong paddle, which is what they pulled out of the other box.
Right.
By doing this, they say that they should be safe to leave because they can just check the box to make sure they're returning to the right house.
Excellent.
Right.
Yes.
So this
Good
is
plan.
a great plan that was already thought of by a million different versions.
Yeah.
Lee asks M about the numbers from the first box. She checks the notepad from the science book and sees green lettering instead of the red lettering that they had before. And it includes her and Beth listed as number 3, a number that didn't have any numbers before. Meaning that the Amir and Hugh that came back are from a third house. She starts asking everyone what number was on the back of their picture. Lee says 5, Kevin says 6, Beth says 3, Hugh says 3. She tells Mike about the numbers. She surmises that Beth and Lee are from this house originally. They never left, so that makes sense. The rest of them are not from the house. Mike starts laughing, drinking more wine. Hugh and Amir are from a third house. Hugh's phone isn't cracked. The dark area.
That's right, yeah.
And they basically figure out that the dark area that they walk through is essentially like a roulette wheel. It spits them out in just a random
universe.
Once the comet passes, they'll be stuck in whatever reality they're in. So she doesn't want to be stuck there, which kind of starts towards the end, like the whole ending of this movie.
Yeah.
Mike points out that there's no way that they would be able to know if they were in the right place. As Kevin comes in from hiding the box outside, they hear something at the door and he closes it. A note slips through. It seems like a code. Mike, my friend Beth plus book equals Trinidad Club. Don't let it happen.
Oh, the Trinidad Club. Yeah, baby.
It's on the Galapagos.
It's I was going to say,
Hell yeah.
Tito, remember the Trinidad Club? And the
That's where I go to get my groove back.
That's it. Oh, Tito got his groove back.
That's how I got my groove back. Like Galapagos.
Dancing with the tortoise.
Yeah, me and Tay Diggs.
Beth's nose starts bleeding.
Beat me to it. Beat me to it. I was about to say.
Beth's nose starts bleeding. And we find
As it
out
should.
Right.
Yeah.
We find out that 12 years ago that her and Mike and Beth had a little fling. Mike told them all
As you do.
Right. And Mike told all the friends that knew about it that he told Hugh about it. So they're all under the impression that Hugh knew. They confirm it, asking about the random item. They're all from different houses, oven mitts, staplers, all different items in these
We're in
different
the boxes,
Right,
yeah.
ping pong paddle.
Yeah.
Hugh comes in a rage, punches Mike, after he says, if there are a million different realities out there, I've slept with your wife in all of them. Fucking burned.
Yeah. Causes sparks to fly.
Very funny.
So Mike starts thinking he's the dark version of himself. They kind of contemplate, like, what if there's a dark like an evil version?
Yeah.
And he thinks he's the dark version. Green glow stick Mike breaks in suddenly and punches Mike himself.
Yeah.
Who's actually played by his identical twin brother, who has a different last name for some reason.
I didn't know that.
Wow.
Donovan, I think, is the last name for the brother.
No kidding.
Yeah, he's a twin.
Yep. Laurie freaks out. Kevin tries to calm her. M walks out. She leaves.
She leaves the house.
And there's once again a note on the door. Same note from before. Outside, M walks towards the darkness. She opens a box and there's a stuffed monkey doll. So another what are they called?
Another
What are they?
keepsake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She starts looking into houses as she keeps walking. She looks into a house and sees herself sad and angry at a table, shoving Lee's hand away as she tries to comfort her. She continues walking. She sees another group fighting with each other. Another has 2 Mikes bound and gagged. Another has Kevin and Laurie together.
Yeah.
She keeps looking up at the comet as she walks because she's kind of realizing. She finds another house where inside is a completely happy group of
Right,
friends.
exactly, yeah.
Hanging out as if nothing happened at all. They're
Oblivious
all-
to everything going on around them.
All completely happy. She sneaks into this house and she looks down and sees that the ketamine in her hands. She goes back outside. Inside, the group hears a smash. They all go outside and they see the windshield of Hugh's car is smashed. Nothing's missing. They go out to check their cars. As the other M goes to check out her car, she slips on the ring like RM. Or M not so prime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, she's RM. She's the only
Right,
one.
she's RM.
That we
She's
know
RM
is
that
her.
we've been following.
Yeah, we know
Yeah,
yeah.
so there's M and anti-M.
Right.
Because it's like matter and antimatter.
Oh, that's very good. The monitor and the anti-monitor.
Very nice.
That's a Crisis on Infinite Earth
right.
situations.
There you go.
Definitely
Yeah.
Crisis on Infinite Earth. Well played, the both of you.
That's right. So she slips on the ring, and RM sneaks into the car behind her and drugs her with the ketamine. She hides the body in the trunk and takes her place inside. They had been looking for her. They were like, where you been? Then they all go out to look at the comet. Oh, it's a beautiful comet. Oh, we're gonna watch it. It begins to break up, dying out.
Right.
M sees her other self suddenly out of the corner of her eye, crawling into the bathroom inside. She goes in and she smashes her with the top of the toilet, hides her body in the shower, and
in the tub.
Did you notice that the top of the toilet did not shatter like it does in every other movie where someone gets hit in the
That's
head?
just heavy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's porcelain, but it's heavy.
That's right.
So
That's true, yeah.
She hides the body in the shower. She takes this M's ring, having lost hers in the exchange. As she comes out to the group, who look to all be getting ready to leave. They kind of look like they're on their way out. She passes out in the doorway. She wakes up the next morning.
She got a bloody nose too, or no? She just passes out.
No,
She just passes out. She just kind of stumbles into that room
Yeah.
and like drops.
Because Beth passes out when she gets the bloody nose. I wonder if you stay in that world for too long, then it does to fuck with you.
Oh, maybe.
You travel through the portal too many times.
Like Spider-Verse.
Yeah.
They start glitching.
You go through too many times. Maybe
That's a
something
good theory.
fucks with your brain.
Oh,
I
yeah.
like that, Tito. I like that. She gets up. So she wakes the next morning on Lee and Mike's couch. She gets up and Lee is in the kitchen washing dishes. Again, that's all she does.
I know. And nap.
And ketamine.
Beth comes out of the bathroom having just showered. Interesting.
As you do.
Outside the sun's shining. M walks out to check the cars. Hugh's windshield's still smashed, so everything's normal, I guess. And the book is inside the back. She can see it. Kevin is also outside. He asks her if she's okay. He hands her the ring he found in the bathroom, where she dropped it during the scuffle, and then he gets a call, and he says, "Oh, it's your phone." She plays with the ring as Kevin takes the call from M. She's found out and cut to black.
Yep.
Fade to black.
Right. So 2 M's for the price of one.
Phone,
Two M's.
His laptop
went
price
dim.
black.
And that's how it ends. That is
Coherent.
moment
Coherent.
at the end. Yeah, I mean, you could
just
could
sets
continue to
us
tell
both
the
stuck
story.
in there.
Like what now?
Yeah.
Which is not
Like
like the
Tito
two
said,
mics
you can
tied to
sit
the
and think
chair
about it.
stuck there.
Yeah,
Right.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's so many different things that have happened, and
Right.
it's wild. Shit's wild.
Well done, Derek. Well done putting all this together. That's. I hope people could follow this, but
It is a little all over the place.
If we should have said spoilers in the beginning, but if by some chance you still see the movie, we got to see it a second time. 'Cause
Yeah,
I'm
it's
sure we'll
true.
spot
I
more
liked it.
things.
I'd watch it again. It's a quick hour and a half too.
Yeah,
but-
it's a
it's a
short.
quick
That was,
watch.
that was the other thing.
For
I
something
wanted to-
that's mostly dialogue and character driven, it moves.
it does
Right.
move quickly.
It's very
It
fast
does.
because it's
Yeah.
hectic. There's like
It's
chaos.
improvised
Yeah.
and it's got that filming style.
Yeah,
talks
it's,
about.
it's frenetic.
I like that. Wow.
That's right, and it was shot
Chronologically.
That's,
Yeah.
There you
that's the
go.
word.
Come up. It's
Favorite scenes. Mine, the scene where the group is outside and they see the group with the red glow sticks.
Yeah, that's
I
was
like
a
that.
chilling
It was
one.
very
I like
cool.
that one.
yeah.
And that's one of those moments where I'm like, oh, this is a horror movie?
That's why what I like about it, and I like horror films, but I'm not a huge horror guy. There are moments in this movie where I'm just like, oh,
Terror.
Yeah.
Yeah. It
There's
does.
some creepy
It
moments.
makes your skin crawl.
It's them.
Yeah.
Even when somebody's like, even when she says, "Oh God, there's somebody at the door." I mean,
Yeah,
you have to be
right.
like, oh,
Yeah.
but
Right.
I liked the scene when Amir and Hugh returned to the house the first time. Like I said, I knew something was up.
Yeah.
I'm glad I was right. Mm-hmm. And when Hugh finds out about the affair, and Mike says the line about having slept with his wife, and it's just like such a great line.
Yeah. Yeah.
Brian, favorite?
It's a great movie. It's tough to pick one favorite scene, but I think if I had to nail it down, it's the one where they see themselves on the street with the different colored glow sticks. That was just freaky.
Yeah, the bang at the door is very jarring,
That
but when
too,
they
yeah.
see each other, the four
Right.
people across the street, that's a scene I really like. I also really enjoy when they're talking about their boxes and what was in each box.
Yes. Oh yeah.
And then
stapler.
you are like,
what are you talking about?
okay,
It's a stapler.
Yeah.
these guys are, Beth and Lee are here because they were always here.
Yeah.
Up to a certain point, these four went off.
Right.
Then Mike went off separately. So these three have always been together. These two have always been together. These two have always been together. This one has not always been.
Yeah.
And they all have. And I'm like, and I hear like Oven Mitt. I'm like, fucking Oven Mitt.
Yeah.
When the fucking Oven Mitt show up?
I know.
But that scene and the end, I think it's just like a fun little like she's calling him. The phone calls coming from inside the house, kind of thing.
Right. Coming from inside the shower. She didn't kill her.
Hot.
See, if she tracked that, you would have known the job was done.
You think he had sex with her in the shower when she was passed out, and then was like, "Oh, you're already dressed."
Well, in one reality, probably. Yeah.
Well, it makes you wonder, like, where did she go?
Yeah.
Because she made that call, but like, you know,
she wasn't in the shower.
Beth took a shower, so she must
from another house because when the
maybe they got
comet collapsed, I thought everything just kind of set.
They might have more than one bathroom.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I assume she snuck out because she was afraid to get hit in the head again or drugged.
It could have been that.
Yeah.
She was like, I'll wait till the morning and then I'll call
that
him.
Beth wouldn't have been from another house because everybody in this house never left the house.
Right.
They never leave.
Right.
Yeah, they never leave. Everything went well.
So what she should have done is instead of putting her in the trunk, she should have thrown her in the dark spot.
Into the void.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah.
You live and you learn.
You know what to do. Que sera, sera.
Que sera, sera.
My favorite scene is when he was writing the note and Lee sees somebody outside and it's the note on the door. That's the most chilling scene to me. I do like when they see themselves, but I've seen that before. This was kind of different. This was a new kind of, ooh, that's creepy. That was a nice little creepy.
Yeah.
Brian's right. It's absolutely one big scene of a movie.
It is.
So it's probably more my favorite moment that is seen.
Right.
But that really stuck out to me. I'm like, oh, this is getting good. I like this setup. So.
Favorite and least favorite characters. I liked Em a lot. But Nicholas Brennan stole the show as Mike. I think you said it earlier in the show, Tito. Just the sarcasm, the willingness to throw barbs at Laurie, and watching him kind of lose it. Like he was hitting those bottles hard too. Yeah.
I also get the feel that like he's tired of his life and the people he's decided to spend his time with.
Yeah. Right. He's
like,
so quickly.
Who cares?
He throws his sobriety away. Like
he was
right
an
out the
actor in
window.
Roswell. He could have gotten with Katherine Heigl.
That's right.
Even before he gets drunk, he's like, "Oh, you're another one of Kevin's girlfriends that Amir is now trying to date."
Right. Like, and I love that.
Another nameless face in the fucking crowd.
He is like the one that's fearless.
Giving up.
Because the funny thing is that's a very, that's a drunk comment to make.
Yeah.
That's a comment that someone who has been drinking would make. But he's sober.
Yeah.
And he says it. I just love that. He's a spitfire. I loved him. My least favorite, Laurie. I could not stand her. I don't like the whole Kevin thing with her.
Laurie? Really?
And throughout the beginning of the movie, I felt like she knew what was going on. I thought she was kind of like in on the whole thing because, especially when she doesn't remember Mike, like that was the tip off. Like, all right, she doesn't know he was in this show, but everybody else knows that he was.
Yeah.
So, like, is she from a different universe where he wasn't on the show?
Well, I mean, does it start when her phone cracks? Because if it starts when her phone cracks, then Kevin and Hugh that initially show up are not their versions. Amir and Laurie are not their versions.
Right.
Right? Or is it when the lights go out?
Exactly.
That it's hard. It's hard to say.
I thought it was when the lights go out, but you might
So
be
do
right.
I, but who knows?
It turns out but eventually it turns out that she wasn't. Like, she's the one that always sees things. She's the one that notices the people outside. So I just kind of like the whole time I'm like this bitch is like an evil like demon or something.
Yeah.
She's not.
Yeah.
So she was good at her job.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Good acting.
I liked Em. I think she's my favorite. I do. I think she kind of carried this movie because it's almost like, yes, it's an ensemble, but it's almost like through her eyes almost that we're kind of viewing a lot that's going on. And I'm going with Nicholas as Brendan as my least favorite because I thought he was a little too surly.
Oh.
I really did, and I didn't like him. I thought he was a little too aggressive, and I don't know. Everybody else was just kind of there. They didn't bother me.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Nicholas was just kind of, I didn't like his attitude after a while. Yeah.
All right.
I can see it. He's my favorite character. I think he's got the most personality of the bunch. Besides M, who I actually really like. My least favorite characters are everybody except for Mike and Em. Laurie is not a likable person.
No.
Kevin is not a likable person.
Yeah,
Hugh
Beth.
is just so fucking pompous.
Yeah.
Amir is just feasting off of Kevin's leftovers.
Beth
It's just
and her
weird.
ketamine.
Like, who are these people? They're not really friends. They just known each other for a long time.
Yeah.
Right? They're not friends. I don't get that feeling like they really care about each other. It's just fucking weird. So yeah, I despise most of the people in this film.
Favorite character was Lee. I love her.
Well, she
she's
slept
so
through half the
nice.
movie.
She's so spunky. She's just trying to have a good time.
She does dishes. That's reason enough to love her.
Yeah.
She's trying to make this. She's just trying to be positive in this
Trying to be a good host.
horrible situation.
Takes a little
She
ketamine.
puts up with an asshole. Everybody else sucks in this movie. I don't like anybody. M is nice to look at, but she's okay. But I don't know. Everybody was just shut up. I still like telling everybody to shut up.
Yeah.
I didn't like Nick. He just shut up, Nick. Like drink everything. Maybe I'm the shut up. Everybody shut up. Lee was just positive this whole time,
She's
trying
like
to
me
make
on
the
a
best
Wednesday
of the
night. She
situation.
just fucking passes out mid fucking
She's like,
movie.
she's like, I'm gonna take a nap. Get me some of that all natural drug. I'm sleeping
I'm gonna
this
go to
off.
sleep for
That's
half
the
this
right
movie.
idea.
Just a whisper.
I
Just
wanted
a
to
whisper.
rescue her from that movie.
Yeah.
I wanted to go into the TV and say, "Come with me, Lee. I'll do the dishes. You can nap anytime you
If
want.
that's
Come with me.
She would be with
If you want
somebody.
to live.
If you want to live,
Come with me.
with me.
Come with me.
The Neil Breen of Come With Me.
That's a good way to fall asleep.
Yeah.
Just a little bit
What
of
a
no
twisted
brain.
pair.
Some ketamine.
MVP. My MVP is James Brykit. He set out to do something specific with the film. I think he accomplished it. It's a little all over the place, but I know that it makes sense to him. The guy spent a year just working out all the different connections.
Yeah.
So he was dedicated to making sure he followed his own rules. He did a great job guiding an improvisational cast. It just seems like a really daunting task to me that he set out to do, and he succeeded. Or exceeded, actually.
Yeah.
And I love that he made a film that rewatching will peel back, like I said, peel back more layers.
Many
And
layers.
You're bound to find other new things if you watch this movie more than once.
Yeah, agreed. I think I'm going to go with you. Yep.
I'm the MVP?
You are the
thank
MVP.
you,
That
Brian.
was one hell of a
MVP
synopsis,
is
Derek.
About
And
time.
without you, I would not have understood this movie.
I still don't think I understand it, but it was enjoyable.
No, I'm going with Brykit, like you.
Yeah.
I think it was an original premise, and I think that he pulled it off, especially the way that he did it. I mean, not that many people can make a movie
Right.
without a real grounded script. It's just an outline. Like you said, it's
Right.
just notes that he handed the actors on specific days to fuel that specific scene. So I thought it was well done.
Same for all the reasons that you just said, both you guys. I think he does an amazing job of making a pretty interesting film in a world full of uninteresting films.
Yeah.
Sometimes,
Mediocrity.
especially because there's so many. It's original.
Yeah,
It's a cool original-ish idea.
it is. I agree.
So yeah, it's fun movie. I'll give it to Brykit for sure.
I agree with you guys too. I like, often when the sci-fi is on the back burner and it's all about the people, even though these people suck.
Right.
Yeah.
I like when the sci-fi is more subtle, and this is a good example of it. This is a good story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did it remind you a little bit of like frequently asked questions about time
Exactly.
travel? It did to me
There's
too.
no big pomp and circumstance.
I haven't seen it. Simon Pegg's in that one, right?
No,
No.
the guy from the IT tech. What's his name?
the IT crowd.
IT crowd.
yeah,
What-
yeah.
The Irish guy.
Yeah, exactly. Dowd.
Chris Dowd.
Yeah.
Chris O'Dowd.
Yep.
Chris O'Dowd. Yep.
Yeah, same
All
kind of feel.
Yeah.
The sci-fi, you just stumble upon
Yeah,
the
exactly.
sci-fi of the movie in the men's room.
It unfolds organically. I love it.
Same kind of
Yeah.
thing. No huge
Yeah.
blasts of quantum physics.
No.
No lights opening up
No.
in the sky. It's just a crack of the phone
Stuff
and a
just
power
happens.
failure.
Exactly.
Yep.
And
And that's what I like. That
Yeah.
I like that in sci-fi more so than I do in horror, which is really weird. My kind of science fiction is more of the subtle stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
It's very strange.
yeah.
Very weird. I don't know.
I like it all, but I agree with you.
Yeah.
Award for What Are You Doing Here? I mean, Nicholas Brendan kind of vanished from showbiz, so he's
Yeah.
a given, but I actually recognized Hugh.
Did
Hugo,
you?
Yeah, Hugo Armstrong. He played...
You almost said Hugo Strange.
I almost did. He played a guy, an agent called Coyle on NCIS. He
did he?
Yeah, in one, he's a regular agent in one, and then he's a special agent in the next. He gets a
Yeah.
promotion. But he's in like 3 or 4 episodes
Yeah.
of NCIS, and I'm like, he looks wicked familiar.
Yeah.
I know him from somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, like you, I was going to pick Nicholas Brendan because when Tito told us about this movie, and I looked at the
Right.
trailer, I said, I even texted you.
I remember
I'm
the
like,
text, yeah.
I'm like, hey, is that Xander from Buffy? And you're like, yes, it is.
Yep.
So I figured, like, all right, it's a small cast. He's going to be my,
Right.
not MVP, but my, what are you doing here? But then about a quarter of the way through the movie, like I said, I started to recognize Elizabeth Grayson.
yeah.
And I'm like, she looks so familiar. Yeah. Who is she? So I had to look her up, and I'm like, oh, fuck, of course. Highlander.
There's another actress she kind of looks like, too.
Yeah, and I can't think of who she
I want to say M. Beth Davis.
It's the,
M. Beth Davis.
She reminded me a little of, what's her name from Child's Play 2? She used to be on Melrose Place.
Oh, yeah, I know who you're talking about.
I can't remember.
Yes.
Oh, God, not Ellie
Are you thinking of 90210? The Emily Valentine?
Yeah.
Emily Valentine.
Yes.
Well, she was in Child's Play
2, but she was on 90210.
90210.
Which was
what did I
basically...
say?
Yeah.
You said Melrose Place.
Yeah.
That's close enough.
Yeah, it's the same.
Same producers.
They're cousins.
Yeah.
Christina Elise.
Yeah.
There was a
Christina
little
Elise.
of that going on. Yeah, a little bit of her.
Yeah.
Except
a little
she's
bit.
better
Although
looking.
she looks like
Absolutely.
Pink.
A little bit with that haircut, yeah.
She tries to set the float on fire. She did. They stopped
It
her.
happens.
She got Brandon hooked on ecstasy.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
was a great episode.
saucy minx.
Yeah,
She's saucy.
great show. We should do a 90210 episode.
We should.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah, for sure. I love that
Well, she
show.
had to run in with a killer
really?
doll. That's gonna.
Love that show.
Yeah.
My What Are You Doing is Nicholas Brendan, because he just kind of takes me out of the movie sometimes because I know his face.
Agreed. I don't think
his
he's
face is
improvising
too
as good as
familiar.
the others either. He's very like acty.
Acty?
Well, he's playing an actor.
Yeah. I don't like him.
He was playing an actor.
He's got a weird voice. Just shut up.
Anything else to say about Nicholas Brendan?
I don't like him.
All right.
I don't like his face.
What's yours?
My
What's your What Are You Doing?
my MVP, I agree with you.
No,
Wait,
what are you
do that
doing?
one.
Oh, what are you doing in the movie? Raven, the Highlander.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, she's from that Highlander show I never watched.
Nice.
But I
Never
did
will.
see her in the Highlander series. And I was
Before
like,
this one.
my God.
The backdoor pilot.
It's her. Yeah.
Oh, back door.
You guys are so sophomoric.
Thank
That's
you.
a fun word, right?
It is.
Like, I want to use the word
There's another word
sophomoric right now.
I can say that right. Sophomoric.
Comeuppance?
Comeuppance.
You bunch of
Come
soft-
up, Mitch.
sophomorons.
That's a word
Come
I'm
on,
thinking.
Muppets? No. I don't.
Come on,
Hey,
Muppets.
is that it?
That's it.
That's freaking.
That is
Hey,
Coherence.
that's Coherence.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All
Great,
right.
great
Nice.
flick. Definitely recommended.
How are we doing on time? Okay,
We're-
very
we're
quickly.
running late, but that's okay.
Let's fire it off very quickly. What's making our geek flags fly?
WWE 2K25 came out. It's the video game. It's got a huge roster. There's like 300 playable characters, and
Jesus.
that's just like the actual people that are going to be like are playable in the game. Not even the create because you can create up to 100 people. So it's huge. Really fun. My Rise, which is like the story mode. Same thing with the showcase. It's all about the Samoan families, the Anoy family of wrestling. Just getting started, but great stuff so far.
Cool.
Excellent.
Nice.
My own.
Last night I saw Mickey 17.
With the love of my life.
With the love of your life.
How was he?
How is it?
I loved it.
Yeah.
I thought it was really,
Yeah.
really
We
good.
need to go see that.
Yeah.
Of course he was good. He's the best actor.
Oh, look at this.
He puts on a voice, though. You guys, I brought up this movie earlier as far as part of my appetizer, Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah.
Remember Fran Kranz, who played the druggie?
Yes.
Yes. Robert Pattinson speaks through the entire movie like this guy was in Cabin in the Woods.
Like, kind of like, what are you guys doing?
Yeah.
Like that. He puts on his voice.
Oh, no.
I read that he tried to do. He wanted to do a Steve-O impersonation.
Oh, he kind of. I can see that.
Yeah, but couldn't
I
get
can
it
see-
completely.
No,
so
he
he
came
like
out sounding
kinda,
like Fran Kranz.
Yeah, so
I
he
swear to God.
tweaked it a little bit.
in Good Life or Good Time, he has
I didn't see that one,
he
yeah.
does an accent in that movie too.
Yeah.
I think he just likes to try. He's a good actor.
He's
a great actor.
It was good.
Yeah.
It was good. It didn't take me out of the movie, but the voice, every time he spoke, that's all I could think of was this guy. I'm like, oh my God, he's channeling Cabin in the Woods.
Tom Hardy, are you taking notes?
But the movie was really good. It was so good.
Mr. Tito.
The only thing new I've been watching, season 3 of Yellow Jackets is out.
Oh, nice.
I don't know if I like the show or not anymore. I usually
it's getting to be about
I start
season
giving
3.
up about season 3. It's kind of like Lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I get the same feeling from when I watched Lost that they don't know. They're just kind of making it up as they go along.
Oh, they totally did.
Didn't think
But
it would last
there
this
are
long.
characters. I like characters. There are still characters in the show that I really, really like. So I enjoy their storylines.
Who's your favorite?
Oh, I like the Natalie character, old and young Natalie.
Which
Juliette Lewis.
Oh, okay.
And then the other girl who's in I like her, and I like I really like Christina Ricci's character, the young and older version.
Yeah, that's what I liked when I was watching it.
I have to see. I still haven't seen it.
I don't even think I finished season 2.
Yeah.
Oh, it's got a. It's got a.
But does it need to end?
The end
Tito?
is wild.
Do you think this show needs to wrap it up soon?
I just want to know what the fuck is going on, but I don't think they do. It's like Lost, when you're like, I don't think these fucking people know what's going on.
That happens a lot. Remember Lost? They had a giant sea monster silhouette in one episode. They never revisited that. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Do you have giant sharks in this?
Well, it's like they don't expect it to go as long as it does.
Absolutely.
They
then a writer's strike happens.
Yeah, the writer's strike killed everything. That's what killed Heroes. Remember Heroes?
I do. Oh, that's the end of season 2 had so many possibilities. Him going into the future, all that shit. But yeah, I still enjoy it. There are characters in it that I like, and we'll see. We'll see what happens. They're like 5 episodes in.
Cool. Mine, I have, Brian recommended this movie last week. I went and watched it. The Gorge with Miles Teller and Anya Taylor-Joy. This was a great movie.
Yeah,
I had a lot of fun watching this movie. I liked the first half of this movie an awfully lot. Miles Teller and Anya Taylor-Joy are fantastic. They're really cool together. I like their chemistry.
Watch it on? I'm sorry.
I watched it on Apple.
It's on Apple.
Yeah,
it's an Apple Plus original.
It's an Apple Plus original. No problem. The first half of this movie is really just about them, and you know there's something evil in the gorge, and you don't know what it is. And I love that concept.
Yeah.
You get glimpses of what's coming out of the gorge, and they have to stop it. You have, growls and snarlings. And you know there's something down there, but you don't know what.
Come on, puppets.
Come on, puppets. Coming on, Muppets. There's Muppets in there. Without giving too much away, what's in the gorge I don't want to give it away. So it does not thrill me as much as the not knowing was better for me. You and I knowing what's down there.
Yeah.
Just because
when the reveal happens, it's not as...
I don't want to get into
I liked what was in the gorge. I thought it was a real hellscape.
I liked the story, what was in there, but it became very video game for me and a lot of blasting. And the first part of it was all the tension and drama between the two characters, and I just loved that part so much.
Yeah, that was good too.
So when they go in there, it's a different movie. And then when they come out, see, I can't. Okay. So Darth Vader is Luke Skywalker's father.
Check her out.
Check this movie out. It's very good. I stand behind Brian on this. The Gorge.
Nice.
Worth making your geek flag.
Check it out. Check it out.
Check her out. Check her out. I'm gonna go. Yeah, Miss Barrett. Sigourney Weaver, skin cream. Is that everybody?
That's everybody. Yeah.
All right. Well, this was awesome, guys. Great episode. Great pick. There was a time when Derek. I know we've said this before, but we're running out of time. So Derek used to hate Rob Pattinson, and there's plenty of episodes to listen to him bitch about it. Brian, where can they go?
They can go to www.3gdpodcast.com. That's www.3gdpodcast.com. And as Mark said, you'll be able to find all of our past episodes there, along with one-click buttons where you can easily subscribe to us. If you haven't already, please hit one of those buttons to the podcast platform of your choice, and you will never miss an upcoming episode. Also, while you're there, please leave a 5-star rating and a review. A rating and a review go a long, long way to help push our little show a bit further forward from the rest of the podcast pack, and most importantly, it makes it easier for others to find us while they're searching. Also, we have social media presence on the interwebs as well, which can also be linked at the website. We can be found at Facebook, Blue Sky, Instagram, and the audio portion of our show can be found weekly on YouTube as well. And we also have a Ko-fi page where if you like the show, and we really hope you like the show, you might want to consider leaving a donation of any size, large or small. It will be greatly, greatly appreciated because, as we say, podcasting is not cheap. And with that, I think that's pretty much it, gentlemen. So thank you out there, everybody, for listening, whether you're a new listener or a seasoned follower.
Well, I like that.
Who's been with us from the very beginning. Thank you, one and all, for listening, and back to you, Mark.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you, gentlemen, and thank you, everybody out there, for tuning in. Join us next time for another episode of In the March of Madness series. So for 3 Geeky Dads, until next time, I am Mark.
I'm Derek.
I'm Brian.
I'm Tito.
Saying good night, and keep watching the skies, because sky is clear tonight, sky is clear tomorrow, each star is out, I reach for one to sparkle in my hand, each star is out, I will not touch you, I am just a man.
The fuck is that?
Yeah.
Just a Man by Faith No More.
Oh my God. That's a deep cut.
You want it all. Is that them? Faith
That's
No
them.
More, right?
Yeah.
But you can't have it.
Come on.
What is this?
It's what is it? It's not what is this.
I don't care.
They talked a little bit about it and like the process.
Oh, shit. Sorry.
Wow.
Was that me?
That
Yeah,
thing you're
yeah.
interrupting. The
Yeah.
process.
Sorry.
Right?
Get a little
Sorry.
feedback there.
He had to air out his ears.
No, it was sitting weird on my head.
Oh,
I'm sorry, Derek.
That's all right. Yes, like I don't know if she showed up in Midnight Club, but Fall of House of
Oh,
Usher.
Rona's been watching that.
Fall of House of Usher, she
Midnight
plays
Club?
the Raven.
It's about
so.
it's like Are You Afraid of the Dark, but a little bit
It's
hardcore, more hardcore.
Christopher
Really?
Pike. It was
Okay.
basically like Fear. They were kind of like Fear Street novels.
Okay.
Oh, I remember
it
these
was,
books.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Christopher Pike made these young adult
He's
books.
an author?
He's an author.
Yeah.
Oh, because
yeah.
it's funny because Bruce
Captain.
Greenwood played Captain Christopher Pike in the
Yep.
J.J. Abrams
Right.
Star Trek movies.
Yeah.
Oh.
So he
it comes full circle.
It was very. It's very.
I am sure of two things. I am about to ask these gentlemen their opening thoughts, and that somewhere in one of our realities, Tito thinks Alligator is a great movie.
It's possible. It's infinite me's.
I thought you were going to argue that point.
There could be a reality where
There is
I actually made Alligator the movie,
There could be. Yeah.
but better.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's impossible.
yeah. I took all the
You'd have
alligators out.
frickin'
It's a metaphor.
John Leguizamo and Jim
Yeah, see, I-
Belushi as the
Yeah,
stuff.
there's no alligators. It's a
See,
metaphor.
I thought you were going to go with the Coherence quote, related to it. Like, and there's probably a million. There's a million. What does he say? Fuck. There's a million.
me's.
No, there's a million multiverses out there, and I hate Alligator in every single one. As opposed to sleeping with his wife.
Everybody following this out there so
I
far?
know.
After he says all this stuff, Laurie starts asking Mike questions, and we learn that Mike is an actor and was on the show Roswell for 4 seasons as a season regular named Joey.
Joe.
Oh, shit.
Can I start that over? Please edit that out.
Joey?
Joey? I don't know.
I think it's just Joe, but did you write
Yeah.
Joey?
Yeah, no, it's
I
just
wrote
Joe.
Joey.
You
No,
just
it's
said
Joe.
Joey?
Well,
That's
I
hilarious.
so it's
Yeah,
Joe.
start it over with Joe.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
let's do that. Jesus fucking Christ.
Who
Literally.
was also Joey.
Yeah.
It was yeah, for sure. I can't tell by looking at him. I don't know how you can.
It's the dark eyebrows.
Not always.
It's the rumor. It's the rumor that's going around. Okay, sorry. Joey.
So, no,
Stop it.
I can't.
I don't know what the fuck. Like, I don't know where that came from. I'm not like that.
I know
It
you're
came
not.
from inside of you. It's fine. We're moving on. You're
The
good.
comment came from inside my head.
In another universe, Derek is a Nazi.
And I invented Tesla.
Roswell.
Or Disney
aliens.
World.
Apparently, he cannot see what's written in front of him either.
I am sorry.
So you think they're space aliens? That's interesting.
I hope people could follow this, but
It is a little all over the place.
If you
I thought everybody did.
See, I was a Melrose Place guy.
What? What?
Yeah, I liked Melrose Place better.
That was for older people.
I know. I was.
I didn't watch either.
I was beyond my years.
I don't know why I didn't.
It's beyond my years.
What was
You're just
yours,
waiting
Tito?
for the spinoff to come around.
Plus, Amy Locane. Amy
Oh,
Locane
yeah.
was fucking. She was so hot.
Yeah.
Amy Locane of Crybaby.
Oh,
She plays his girl, Johnny Depp's girlfriend.
chick. I never watched it.
No.
Mine. You never seen Crybaby?
No, I've never seen Melrose Place.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
No, we established that. Okay. all right,
Daphne
right, right.
Zuniga?
Zuniga.
Zuniga?
Oh,
Zuniga.
Zuniga. Yeah, she was on the
It's cute.
Vanessa L.
Space
Williams.
Oh, Princess
Vanessa
Vespa's.
L. Williams. Elizabeth Shue's
Vanessa
brother was on it.
Elizabeth Shue.
Oh yeah,
Heather Locklear was on it.
Shoe.
Yep.
Heather Locklear.
None of them are in this movie. What the hell
No,
is your
that's
MVD?
fine. Let's-
My What Are You Doing is Nicholas Brendan because
And we also have a Ko-fi page where if you like the show, and we really hope you like the show, and you might want to consider leaving you might want to consider leaving a donation of any size, large or small.
the Galapagos.
The Galapagos.